time.
What?
So strange.
It's time for the rapture, guys.
It is.
The end is nigh.
The end is
Well, I'm
nigh.
done. Bye.
Oh, see you.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on, Az. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Tights. I'm in Wisconsin. I'm all up in you.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
I'm
what?
all up in
I
Wisconsin.
smelled
cheese.
That's right.
Thanks.
Cheese.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Cheese.
My only
Sounds-
reference.
Sounds
I
sticky.
love the curd cheese.
All I know about
Cheese
it
and
is
beer.
Yeah, cheese and red letter media.
Oh.
That's all I know about.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're here too. I'll be down in there. They're in Milwaukee, right? I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Yeah, they
Watching
are.
the
Nice.
Brewers and the Padres. Hell yeah. So that's going to be fun. We got a good show for you today. We will not be talking about Elon and fucking Trump. Rumble hour, maybe. But we're going to keep it nerdy. Little escapism. Go Padres, by the way. That's right, Jim. Yeah, I made it. I was on a plane and I got home at 4 a.m. I am sleep deprived, so this should be lots of fun. Yeah, 4 a.m.
Why was it delayed?
There was storms around Vegas, and the plane couldn't arrive from Burbank, which was like half an hour away. But it was like an hour and a half late. Yeah, I hate flying too. It sucked. But I was on the Hodge Twins yesterday. It was lots of fun.
Oh,
should be out.
awesome.
Nice.
That
Could you
should
tell
be
them
out.
They're
apart?
so cool, too.
Did I what?
Hodge Twins.
No, I could not tell them apart. They told me their names, and I just kept. I just said Hodge Twins.
50-50 chance.
Oh,
Yeah, I spent a lot of
That's
time
Joe.
never able to do it. Never.
Yeah.
You said he's like one of them's got a scar, Garrett.
Well, okay, so you have to reset every time. So one has a horizontal scar, one has a vertical, but you have to then figure out on the day which one's Keith, which one's Kevin. So
Plus, it depends on your orientation too.
That's
So,
true.
if you're turned, then that'll just confuse you.
Like sideways?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're laying
So
sideways
walk
or whatever,
in.
then
So if you're
you
gay,
won't know.
then it's a different
Yeah.
perception.
you might not. You might not be able to.
might get
Exactly. That's why I just called them the Hodge
name
Twins.
tags.
They should. There you go. That's a good idea. That
State
was
mandated name tags for twins.
Yes.
it was a fun day to do that podcast yesterday. But we got actually a lot to talk about with Disney. There's been some layoffs. Streaming Disney Plus is broke. They spent a ridiculous amount of money on Andor, which is good for Andor. It will be bad for everything else. And the Thunderbolts is a flop.
Turns out.
What?
Big old floppity flop.
But we all
Mental
saw
health.
it.
Box office.
Why would you say the N word?
But depression.
Depression.
It's always
Yeah.
the
That's what they're in right
Business
now.
entertainment.
They're
Yeah,
in a
it
depression.
gave me depression. Yes, right.
It's the hot
Yeah.
thing right now, right? That depression.
Mental illness.
Mental illness. Yeah, and it was really done in a really
Wait, are we
in-depth
talking
and
about
human
iDubbbz
way.
Misses?
Or iDubbbz? I can't
Or
tell.
iDubbbz.
Either
I
one.
think you mean to say Anissa's husband.
Anissa's
Yes.
sorry,
Right,
Mr. Jama.
Yes.
Anissa's
her-
wife.
Her bio on her Twitter says married to a YouTuber.
Oh.
Everything
like-
I hear about their relationship seems horrific and embarrassing.
Yeah.
If I was a lady, hypothetically, if I was a lady and I married some bloke and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna take your name, I'd be like, oh, that's just the energy that
Divorce.
just
You know what?
resonates from
Never
that is-
mind.
Ooh.
Do you know the
Get it off of the pass and
Do you know the law behind that? Why he took a name allegedly?
No, I don't. I'm sure it's just as embarrassing and cringy as.
Yeah.
Do tell
he
me.
Took her surname because her dad has Alzheimer's, and therefore it'd be easier for him to remember.
That sounds like a bullshit
that's
reason.
Anissa's
Oh,
law.
that's a cope.
No, that's not Anissa's reason. That's Ian's excuse that he gives to be like, no,
That's
no,
not
no,
how
the reason-
Alzheimer's works.
doesn't-
Okay,
No,
shut up. It doesn't work in like if it's an easy. If your name is
made that
Smith,
up.
if your name is Smith, it's easier to remember. No.
Yeah, if you have Alzheimer's, well, I'll
I
just
don't think
change.
that-
I'll just change my last name to something he's more familiar.
was
You
that
can
with.
just call them the Anissa twins.
I don't think that's the argument. I think it's that since that is a name he's been familiar with his whole life, that's something that he won't forget, as opposed to something new that was introduced.
Well, again, that's not how Alzheimer's works.
Like,
That's
Sorry,
not necessarily how it
Pops.
works. Yeah.
But I don't think it was because it was an easier name. Like this one's only one syllable.
He's just used to.
I mean,
He's
that
probably
works for me now.
You married
Okay.
a man.
Pre-Alzheimer's, but you know.
Are you
Just
sure?
imagine, you know the meme where it's got the guy sweating, he's got the yes or the no button or the two button choices. And it's just like, say my mate's house is clean, destroy my whole fucking career, life, and everything. It's like,
All the
and
stuff that I've
we
heard.
know which button he pressed, you know? It's just crazy.
I know little to nothing of this lore. I just know that
it's
they went
fantastic.
after Donut. So that's all I know. Hail Donut Operator, by the way.
Yes.
Bro, I wasted so much fun. I was like recording videos before the stream. I was able to get what I needed done, but I wasted so much time unintentionally because happened to be scrolling through my feed. I see freaking DSP live playing Mario Kart.
Oh, no.
And look, I watched Momology's edit of it last night at like 1:30 in the morning. I turned it on, not anticipating to watch all 30 minutes of it. And I turned it away because I was like laughing so hard. So I'm like, fuck, let me turn it on real quick. I watched
Nintendo's a distractor, dude. You know that.
Bro, I watched it for about 10 minutes. He finished. He's playing online against real people, not the computer. He finished dead last,
Oh.
second from last, and then the third race, which was one of the elimination ones, the endurance ones, the knockout rounds. He got knocked out in the first fucking round. Finished last.
It would be so bad to finish last each and every time.
Yeah, like it takes some fucking effort to be that consistently shitty in a game that rewards you for being in the back.
Mhm.
But it's not his fault. So
That's what iDubbbz heard as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna not talk about iDubbbz either. Talk about Doctor Who.
Gary, that's a good point. We shouldn't punch down.
We're about to talk about
Listen,
Doctor Who.
There's nothing you can
We don't want to
do
make
to
fun of real
iDubbbz
retards.
that he hasn't already done to himself. Okay,
See,
so there's just
I thought
Life
what you were going
finds
to
a
say
way.
is, I thought you were going to say we shouldn't punch down because Creator Clash got canceled.
oh,
So I was like, oh, okay, that's a good one.
shit. We're
Sorry,
sorry.
delayed.
There it is. Okay,
Post.
I'm on my new soundboard, so I have new color coding here.
Ooh, how exciting!
Frightening and confuses me. Frightening and confuses me.
If you have
yeah.
Alzheimer's, if you keep the same color, no, don't worry about it.
I remember
memory.
these noises.
Yeah. So, oh look, my son's mowing the lawn. That's great.
Oh,
Put them to work. That's what kids are for.
Damn slavery. Yes.
Good job, son. I'm
The
in
only
here with
legal
my
one
friends.
Speaking of
People for a
slavery,
reason.
Black Panther is white.
Honky Black Panther. I like.
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Cracker.
Cracker.
Cracker Black Panther.
What did Polly say to Cracker? To Cracka?
Just crack it. That's
Crack it.
hilarious.
It's a crack.
He's a Peckerwood. As I said, Doctor Who died in hilarious laughter. It was unintentional laughter, a complete comedy. And the future of the superhero film will be decided, as we've said, many of us have said, in July. And it's Superman versus Fantastic Four, and they're both going to lose to some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that as well. And then there's other stuff too. Other stuff. Oh, I guess some people saw Ballerina. I didn't. So
Yes.
might do a
Yeah,
little.
I wasn't sure if we were. I was.
We were
either-
supposed to. It was not homework. So
Okay.
Ballerina, is
If
that a
it
girl movie?
Yeah, if it was, I
Yeah.
was gonna go this afternoon. Now I'm probably gonna go this weekend instead. I do want to see it.
yeah,
I like the John Wick movies, and I like Anna de Armas.
As soon as you exit, the music that plays says you can run your mouth, but can you fight like a girl? That is the
Yeah,
music that you
That is, yeah.
can leave the
Yeah.
cinema to.
But it's so funny because you have that. There's also another point in the movie where she's told to fight like a girl. But
Yeah, and then
they
starts
have
kicking him in the
enough
balls.
of that stuff to say, oh, but hey, don't try to fight a guy as a guy because you're going to lose. It's like, well, at least
but
they have
that's
that
what
in
she
there.
That
does
line was
for the next
perfect.
90 minutes.
Yes.
That line was perfect. She was like, "You can't fight because you're always going to be underpowered compared to him. You have to cheat. You have to play by other people, by your own rules. You have to fight like a girl.
Fight dirty.
Fight dirty." And she immediately kicks him in the nuts.
great. She's hot though.
Poison.
Anna de Armas
Yeah,
is
she
hot.
is.
That
Very
helps.
hot.
So points for
fuck
that.
her.
She did all right. I thought she did all right in the movie.
Thanks for letting us know, as.
Yeah.
You want to throw her out of bed. Also, there's
We're gonna get a list later of the ones he wouldn't. It's short.
Like
Anissa.
I wouldn't. No.
That's the only name. That is the one that's too far.
we can do all the like a Disney bundle quarter black because there's just a lot of
Really good,
Disney
yeah.
shit.
There's a
So
lot
we'll
to
just
speak.
we can even mix in Disney Star Wars in that because Kathleen Kennedy's going to leave any day now, guys. Any day.
Don't hold your breath.
No, yeah, don't hold your breath.
Dave
And
Filoni. Dave Filoni's back in, baby.
Even when she does leave, she's not going to leave.
No.
I think that's pretty clear. So we're going to talk a little bit about the future of Disney Star Wars, which is not looking too good at the moment. But let's start out with some good news. Well, I mean, that sounded really bad. Disney layoffs.
Yay.
Yay!
Maybe they're
terrible.
firing the activists. You never can tell. Maybe things will turn around. probably.
If you're firing a
who's left
Disney,
to fire?
yeah, I was going to say if you're firing a Disney employee, there's a good chance you're firing a few activists.
We
Okay?
fired all the cameramen.
I hate you, Variety. There you go.
No grips.
No grips. Disney layoffs cut across TV, film, corporate finance, affecting hundreds of employees. Now, I mean, who could imagine this would happen now that we find out that Disney Plus on its own hasn't turned a profit? It's broke.
Has it ever?
They say it has, but they bundle it in with other things, so it's really obfuscated and hard to tell.
The
Yeah, so
answer's no.
they paid like $60 billion or whatever to get Hulu, and Hulu was already profitable. So once they're able to roll Hulu in with that, they can count streaming as making money as soon as they pay off the however many tens of billions of dollars Hulu cost. What was the official number? I think it was actually 30 billion they spent for Hulu, right?
That's
It was
cheap.
like such a long
30 billion,
process.
and is that immersed into the 72 billion they spent to get Fox? That's probably what it was. And let's not forget, Ryan, I could be wrong on this number. I could be a little low. The 15 billion they put into their streaming into Disney Plus.
Right, but
Holy
remember the
crap.
72 billion or whatever for Fox. That only initially was I think 2/3 share in Hulu, which was also co-owned at the time by, I believe, Comcast, Universal, and Disney had to buy them out at, I think, an additional $10 billion to get full control of Hulu. If my memory serves correctly.
with a 33% stake that was still held. It says that it was valued at 27.5 billion. Disney paid Comcast 8.6 billion for its stake.
There you go.
They're just trying to buy themselves out of a hole and keep digging themselves deeper.
Yeah, is it so they can look like they're doing okay to shareholders, basically?
Yeah, it's all a big shell game. It's all a big fucking scam. They bring in a bunch of money from different departments, as Ryan said. They do shit like that. Famously, they paid themselves for fucking Thor: Love and Thunder on streaming. They move around money. They definitely make plenty from the parks and the experiences department with their cruise ships. But
they're
as
making
far
a
as
new Avatar thing.
yeah,
Big backlot, right?
yeah,
Because Avatar is booming.
Yeah, Avatar really popular in between movies. Like people always
Nerdrotic, quick,
talking
name me a
about it.
character from Avatar.
Bluey.
Jake Sully.
Shit.
Jake,
oh,
that's the only one.
Right. That's Bluey.
Bluey.
Damn it.
I like Bluey.
Yeah.
The Rock.
He probably. I just if I see a movie with
Zoe
the
Saldana.
Jungle in it, I just assume The Rock's in it.
Sam Winston.
Zendaya?
Sam
Whitworth?
Worthington?
Worthington. Yeah.
Winston.
Worthington. Yeah.
Worthington.
It's
Yeah, it's
Worthington.
Worthington.
Yeah, he's Jake Sully.
Worthington?
Sam Winston.
Sam
Old timey movies or something.
Sam Winston.
The talkies.
The talkies.
Back at old vaudeville.
I was gonna say the colours, but that might not actually. It's
That was a different term back then.
different time actually.
Oh yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, they make a lot of money off their experiences, but their entertainment division doesn't really do that well. And Tony Gilroy coming out saying what he said, which we'll get to. But Disney is swinging the axe again, laying off several hundred employees globally across multiple teams. And this is also after previous layoffs. They just had some. They've had a few sets of layoffs over the last few years. I don't know what the total number is,
This is the fifth. So in 2023 was when they announced, hey, we're going to do a massive jobs cut. They announced 7,000 jobs over the period of a couple months. That turned out to be 8,000 jobs. But then they said, all right, hey, we're good. It was tough, but we think it's going to position us to enhance our ability to operate more efficiently. That's what they said 2 years ago. And then over the past 12 months or so, there have been 5. This is the 5th different round of layoffs, ranging anywhere from 75 people to several hundred people.
Well, you see, it makes sense though, Ryan, because if they laid off these 75 people, that's going to offset the 72 billion that they just spent.
And it's never going to be the people that should be fired. It's always going to be the people below the line or low on the totem pole that you can get rid of and be like, look, we're saving money, when it's the executives that need to go. It's the ones that made the decisions.
Look at marketing. That's the one area I rarely critique because I'm like, oh, bless you. I couldn't have done any better working with that crap either to try and make it watchable.
The other thing too is that during COVID, a lot of companies overhired, and Disney probably did the same thing as well. And a lot of these jobs were basically useless bullshit jobs.
Well, yeah, a lot of these really highly paid people who are supposed to be experts, in finance. Yeah, well, in finance and board members. All thought that streaming would be just like 2021. They just thought it would always be like that, and
that's not the case.
That's not, and they should have fucking known that. They should have
I don't get it.
We all knew it.
If your employees can figure this out, why can't the higher ups figure this shit out too? That the economy is going to go rotten at some point. You're over hiring. It's like,
well, because they don't care because they're making money anyway. They're making money regardless.
Even aside from
not going to though, that's the issue.
They've oversaturated the market with the streaming. It was like it was so great back then, even without like COVID and all that stuff. You had a market where you had Netflix and maybe a few other smaller streamers. Now every fucking production house has a streamer, and it's just you're oversaturated the market, and now you're paying for ads and all this stuff. It's not going to make the same amount of money that it did before. That's just like you just.
Also, the company's employees aren't going to argue for the solution, which would be to fire them. Like, if they weren't at this peak all the time, their job wouldn't exist. Same reason that you're like, well, why don't they fix the entertainment industry? Well, if half of them are DEI positions, they're not going to argue for that to be destroyed so the film can get back, because then they lose the job again. The turkeys would have to vote for Christmas for Disney employees to actually say what the problem is.
Vote for Thanksgiving here in America. Yeah. Okay, just it's an American show.
Yeah, correct it.
Fucking remember that.
We eat ham on.
Forgot that holiday existed, to be honest.
Yeah, so you know what would have helped saved them a few bucks? I mean, it wouldn't have made up for everything. Not making the Acolyte, not making the Acolyte, not making She-Hulk. Apparently the
Eternals,
budget prior to Agatha, apparently the average budget of a Marvel and Star Wars show, and it varied, was somewhere between $100 and $200 million, like per series, which is just ridiculous. They were never getting that many subs, and even I would love to see the number of how many subs they would have needed to pay for that.
Oh my God.
And did they get that? And of their subs, which there's a lot for Disney Plus, how many of them came free with Verizon? How many of them were counted from India? How many were how many are real active subs? And it's mostly probably just people watching Bluey, right? I mean,
that especially
that's the majority, vast majority.
Especially when you look at the original stuff that they come out with, compare like how low it charts comparatively to what a big numbers wise streaming platform they are. It feels like if you put something out that's geared towards just not kids, like kind of a normal audience, whether it's a Marvel show, whether it's a Star Wars show, whatever, it feels like everyone's just turning on Moana and Bluey. Yep. And that's what the majority of Disney Plus stuff is. So the incessant need to spend $230 million on a She-Hulk show or Secret Invasion and stuff like that, it does not make sense from a money perspective. Whereas you have Paramount Plus, relatively few subscribers compared to Disney Plus, yet the people who are tuning in and watching that seem to be like Landman, Yellowstone, 1923, Mobland, all of that shit.
Tulsa King.
Yeah, like those are getting really good ratings on a smaller streaming platform.
Engagement.
Here, so you get Mobland number 3, Paramount Plus. You got Last of Us on Max. I mean, none of these are Disney way down here. Captain America: Brave New World.
Yo, I love Captain America: Brave New World.
It's gonna have a new life on streaming, guys.
Sure,
Totally.
Man, all that money they're going to pay themselves, it's going to make all that money back.
Yeah,
Daredevil
totally.
charted what was it?
Oh, Ryan, do you have that? Do you have
95
access
or
to that
something?
top 100?
This girl with the strange face, I see her everywhere.
That's not.
That's Anissa.
I believe that's a.
Look, it's not her fault.
Let me get that
her face
from
like
last
that,
week.
She does look like a potato.
Talking about that.
She does.
95th or 92nd in the top.
Yeah.
I think it was on Variety.
What was Daredevil? Was 92?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. It was in the
Alright.
90s. It
Damn,
was,
man, that's bad.
Oh God.
again, for a show that, for all like intents and purposes, should do well.
Mhm.
It was a
Yeah.
beloved
It
show
should.
right? The actors are back. It should do well. It should bring people back.
Like
It
well,
did
my-
the opposite.
Well, hold on. Like my entire thing with Daredevil was, even if it was worse than it was, even if it was the worst thing it could possibly be, I thought it was going to at least draw some interest. Right?
Yeah, because of
the
Daredevil and the
character, tons of
reputation, a
people.
very
It wasn't
positive
that bad.
reputation.
Well, I think at this point, there's the brand damage is so bad, people just aren't interested in showing up to see another beloved character get ruined. So
I think that's
what's
it.
the point?
It's
Also,
gotta
that
be.
first episode probably killed most people's interest because, like,
Yeah.
oh, so
Yep.
it's not going to be the
Someone died.
originals
Well,
back. Okay.
But even if it's bad, what to Ryan's point, it should have fucking charted higher than Agatha. And it didn't. I don't know if you can find that. Ryan went over it earlier in the week, but
humiliating.
there's like
Agatha was the 45th most watch of the top 100 of.
well, that's the gay community. They
Still
just showed
too
up for
high.
that one.
Still too high.
It's way too high, and it's still a failure considering that's your top Disney Plus show is at 45. But that was an interesting chart for a lot of reasons. Reacher dominated.
Yep.
Mobland, despite only having a couple episodes at that point in time where the cutoff was still in the top like 25, I think, maybe tied for 28th or something, which is impressive. But it's a weird chart because it takes linear television, cable television, and streaming and wraps them all up, the most watched things. But it also the timeline is from what used to be considered the television season on broadcast television. So that like fall through the spring time frame when everybody used to put out their new stuff. That's not really the case anymore when it comes to streaming and when people put things out. It's so different. But it took it from like midpoint in September through early April. So you didn't have anything from, say, Andor on there. You didn't have anything from Rings of Power or House of the Dragon because those came out a little bit before. Now, Rings of Power, there was a couple episodes that would have been included in that. However, I think 5 out of the 8 were not. So,
and it didn't chart.
But if you think
to be
about
fair.
the Marvel shows, right? Your cinematic universe is dead. Nobody's watching any of it. And your
essentially
response is, nobody's going to the cinema to watch this shit. Let's throw hundreds of millions of dollars into TV shows with a much less reach than the cinema will actually get. It's genius thinking. Why are these people losing so much money? I don't get it.
Well, they fail to recognize that budgets are entirely within your control. If you give someone $50 million budget to make a TV series, they'll make it for that. Give them 300, they'll make it for that. They will always expand to whatever number you tell them is allowed.
Right.
And so they just shouldn't have given these people all this money. There was no need for a TV series. To
Go
go
that
300
list
million.
up real quick, Garrett. I want to show everybody what number 1 was.
Oh yeah,
Squid Game.
Was Squid Game.
Yeah.
okay.
Squid Game,
Really?
football, adolescence,
Game.
tracker. Reacher was number 5.
Wow.
So
Reacher was number 5.
That's number 5. This list is including sporting events as well.
Yeah,
Which is
Why it's 5 instead of 4. Yeah.
Here, I got the full. This is just like the first 20. So this is a Variety article that has 100 watched TV series.
Yeah. This
Let's
is.
scooch on down.
I'm surprised.
Who's
Adolescence
making a
is as high
drink?
as It was.
Oh,
we have
did you hear
bartender
that?
on the
Did,
list?
did you hear
We got
the
a
ringing in the
bartender
back?
on the.
Are you
on
really
the,
making?
Oh, did you hear
are
that?
you? What
No.
you drinking, Rag?
I'll have a
That's
Shirley
my-
Temple, please.
This is. Hold on. This
This
is from.
Still showing
Not
it in
That's
a
how
phone.
bad this
Okay.
is.
Stop. This is from 2003 to 2004. I will find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Young Sheldon was charting back then.
Jesus Christ.
Ugh.
There was desperate times.
Lots of sports ball too.
Here we go. I got
It's
it.
April.
Pull it up real quick.
Man, I love sports ball so fucking
thank
much.
you.
Oh my god.
I love April.
I know. Rag's huge sports ball fan.
I like to see all the men in the blue shirts running around, just
Kicking the ball, fucking
Just
not
kick-
scoring
kicking
for
the
3
ball.
hours.
or
We're not
throwing
really
it.
going here.
And they're all, what a game. It's
That's
1-0.
It's a blowout.
That would be enough to win.
Oh wow, that's a big lead for number 1 too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I had
3
no
weeks
idea it was that
away.
big.
3 weeks away from season 3.
Oh boy, how exciting!
Apparently,
Sort
the Squid Game creator lost another 2 teeth because of the stress or something. He's lost like
How do you
10
lose-
teeth.
Wait,
How
wait,
many
wait.
teeth
How do
it-
you lose teeth from stress?
I think
ground
he
them
actually
into
played the
dust?
games before they filmed
Wow.
them.
Okay.
Wow.
He's lucky to be alive.
Yeah. So
There we go.
Squid Game Adolescence Tracker Reacher number 4. Last season was really good, by the way. Recommend it. High Potential Matlock.
God, that is
this
embarrassing
A
that
remake
that's
of
so
Matlock?
embarrassing.
Is
or
this the
just-
remake or is this the original?
It's the fuck. Of course, it's the remake. Dumb fuck. You think that? Yeah, they're re-releasing the
You
original.
know?
You
never know about Matlock.
Millennials
if they
and
did-
Zoomers can discover it.
If they did just remaster it and release it as if it was a new show, it would do
It
better
would
than-
chart. Yeah.
Clear. If
Disney.
number 9 was Columbo, I'd ask the same thing. It's like, oh, is there a remake I should know about? Like, what do you think? You're like, I don't
Columbo's real
know.
good, dude. It's really, really good.
Columbo's great. Don't fucking touch that show.
One more thing.
Landman number 7. Look at that on little Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus is so fucking weird. It's got all that shit Star Trek and then a bunch of good shows.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Like Halo.
Night Agent. Still for the top 10.
Big
I
fan.
like Night
Not
Agent.
like Halo.
Didn't Netflix?
Night Agent. Yep.
Didn't they buy Halo or something? Who bought Halo?
Did somebody buy Halo?
Paramount.
The show
Was
Paramount?
Paramount?
No,
It
no.
was
But
on
didn't
Paramount,
someone
right?
didn't someone buy it to stream it someplace?
Bro, you couldn't give that
No.
shit away. But they may have done some kind
I don't know.
of
I thought someone did.
distribution.
I don't know. It's
They,
fucking.
they may have done some sort of.
It's the Halo
distribution.
show. No one cares. We can move on.
We can move on. Yellowstone's there, 1923.
Wow.
Go down a little bit.
She said.
Miss Rachel.
Miss Rachel.
Wow, Miss Rachel.
Where's Mobland at? Was it in
Right
the top
here.
30?
It's up there.
Tied
What?
for 26.
It's like third, I
Tied for
think.
20.
I
Yeah.
can't believe Watson hit 26. That is the
wow.
the black Watson from Sherlock Holmes who became a medic in
What
Canada.
the fuck?
What?
Is it a female?
Wait, in
No.
Canada?
Wow.
You just
Yeah,
assist suicides?
He moves over.
Oh
that
my
would be a
God.
better
Wow.
joke.
That is
If
so
only he could do
true.
it to the series.
Yeah.
But you got to remember too, this is broadcast television that everyone has access to, even people that don't pay for anything. Like if you want,
Now
you
go
know
all the
what I
way to the bottom, Garrett.
That's,
This is me.
yeah, Ryan got it.
Oh, there's my
Oh, Ryan, sorry.
Also,
Ryan.
Halo is on Netflix now, so that is.
Agatha.
That's who I was thinking of.
That's-
I knew it
There
was
you
so.
go.
45.
Agatha all along.
45.
Is that the first Disney Plus show to show up on the list, Ryan?
Yes, that's why
Yes.
I stopped
so.
here.
Uh-huh.
So
Tulsa King so low.
I know, that's sad.
there's
Well,
Chelsea.
yeah. a great show.
The
Cobra
Equalizer.
Equalizer.
Cobra Kai. The Penguin.
Penguin is
Penguin?
still
Oh,
at
that's
still at
good.
58.
How the
or
fuck was the
59,
Penguin so
60.
far down? No.
No. How was the Equalizer so high up?
No,
It's
there's,
broadcast
listen,
television.
there's just some things in life you can't. People watch The View, dude, and you know,
A lot of hotel rooms, you know, just
Yeah.
empty.
a lot of
rooms.
airports.
airports.
American
Yeah,
Idol
everyone
is still up here,
lobbies.
guys. Like this is what we're NCIS Sydney. Is it
I'd watch NCIS Sydney Sweeney.
broadcast?
Crikey, there's been a murder.
No.
Love on the Spectrum.
How is
Wow.
that so
Wow.
low? That's
There
my
you go.
favorite show.
You
My
also
wife
have
watches that too.
You also have Beast Games, which he says he wanted to make YouTube like actual taken seriously, lost millions of dollars of his own money. Came out in
Spectrum is
74.
So
I heard
good.
it was all right. I heard it was
All
all
the
right.
dating shows should be autistic. They should not be regular dating shows.
I thought they already were.
They were.
Yeah.
Tyler.
They were.
Right.
Keep going.
I love you and trains.
Severance.
how
I
often
believe,
I-
is the first
I love
Apple
trains
TV
too.
That's the first Apple TV thing.
And for how often I hear about it, I'm surprised it's so low down.
No, There's
Skeleton crew.
no Apple TV subscribers. It's very low.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you watched like a baseball game on Apple TV? The format, I don't like it. It looks like an iPhone. Everything is like rounded edges and kind of like Futura font almost for everything.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I don't have Apple TV.
MLB.
I watch MLB
looking.
on Prime actually. Yeah.
I get MLB for free with my phone thing.
Was Silo on this list?
Some
anywhere?
MLD TV.
Yeah.
Star Wars Skeleton Crew makes an appearance above Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sad.
That's interesting.
But
Well,
Lost
because
No
is
one
watch
a
it,
talks about
though.
Skeleton Crew. Talk about a show that just like doesn't exist. It's Skeleton. No one talks about that.
No.
I like The Recruit, but it got canceled, I believe.
Yep. Still haven't seen Daredevil. Oh, there it is.
Interludes.
Wow.
90
storylines in the recruit.
Wow.
Love
Next
is
to Love is
Blind.
Blind.
I just
No.
Love is blind.
Wow.
That's
that's
amuses
funny.
me.
That is funny. That is funny. Yeah.
And then they have Beauty and Black and OJ Simpson next to each other.
So, Fantastic Four would probably be better off. No, it would be better off if Captain African American, Daredevil, and Thunderbolts didn't come out like at all. They are going to affect
Probably right.
its box office. Well, that goes back
Well,
to
if those came out and they did really successful and actually like built up excitement for the MCU and Disney superhero stuff, then it'd be great. But unfortunately, that is not what happened.
Yeah, combined, it's like a $350 million loss for them.
so
With absolutely no impact going forwards. At least you could say about, like, obviously I think Andor is very, very good. But at least you can say all that money they put into Andor did something to revitalize the reputation that Star Wars desperately needs. But when you look at Born Again and all this other stuff, you're just pitching money down the toilet and flushing it away.
Yeah.
You have absolutely nothing to carry on going forwards.
And the problem with Andor 2 is when you do look at the Nielsen ratings that we have for it, we now have through the third week, the third chunk of 3 episodes. It's a little over 800 million minutes watched for 3 nearly hour-long episodes. When you break that down on a per episode basis and by minute basis, fewer people are watching it than The Acolyte.
Not surprised.
Which is...
And it's The
similar to-
Acolyte's
It's a
fault.
shame. It's a damn shame.
Well, it's the
partial-
brand damage's fault.
in
Yeah,
partial-
no,
yeah, it is.
It's The
Yeah.
Acolyte's fault because that was actually the same for the first season as well for Andor before Acolyte came out. But it is not a show that has widespread type of appeal. It's not.
no. And like a bomb, not in every case, but other films affect, like when you have a universe, like for the great example is Spider-Man No Way Home really helped Doctor Strange mom in that first weekend. It was a positive lead in, and then it fell like a stone. So you got to say that the same thing will happen when you have flops and multiple flops leading into your next movie. It absolutely affects it 100%.
100%. Absolutely.
And that's what Marvel faces issue. Ryan, you said this, I can't remember which stream, but you're right. Like if Disney Star Wars had made no fucking Star Wars at all, not even Andor, they'd be better off. Yep. They'd be their merchandise would be selling better. They'd have more more people going to their attractions. It would just be better off, and it would, and you can argue maybe even more valuable, still more valuable. You can, they're gonna like put a number on Star Wars right now, and if Star Wars, the only company that could probably buy it right now is Apple, and nobody would, and Disney will never sell it, like ever.
No, they'll hold on to that shit. Yeah, you'll have to claw it out of their cold dead mousy hands or until it goes into public domain.
Yeah, when a giant corporation has its claws into an IP, they will not let it go because they just see it as, well, it's part of their assets and it's something they can use in the future. That's why you're not seeing
it's like Indiana Jones and stuff like that. It's like, oh, they'll hold on to it, and you might see another one in 20 years.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like the South Park episode, right, where they're just getting sexually assaulted over and over and over again.
Yep.
No fun.
Well, Straczynski said that about Babylon 5. It's like he can never get it back, even though like it's it was very niche to begin with, but they believe they can do something with it in the future, and they'll just.
Hey,
never give it
remember
back.
how we was making a CW show, Gary?
I do remember. Then I remember the CW didn't make any money.
Ever?
What?
No,
Not once.
And I distinctly remember us saying, "Well, this is never happening."
No. So I guess the Fantastic Four, they came out with kind of a new trailer. There's some new footage in it to sell tickets 2 months early, so they can say that websites crashed. Which
That's
that
not
has to be
true.
bullshit.
that
Because
is
not
such
a
bullshit.
No way.
like in terms of all these websites crashing, whatever, it can't possibly be because of the ticket demand. Because now
It
we
didn't
have
crash
initial
for Lilo
tracking
and Stitch.
after this open. Like this
Or
is
Minecraft.
tracking the opening day ticket sales are somewhere in between Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Which opened respectively to like 120 million and 145 million. So it's not like it's some, oh my God, we've never seen this type of traffic before. There was like 12 people that reported Fandango was down. So I just have a hard time believing that Fantastic Four demand did that.
No way.
When
Total horseshit.
initial box office tracking now has Fantastic Four at around 126 to 135 million domestic opening. Like, yes, it's big, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that ticks down as we get closer to it, because
Like,
that's just reacting to like that initial boost. But hey, if it starts to teeter out a lot as the course of the run continues, it's not going to end up well for it.
Yeah,
And we
like,
just had Minecraft came out. We had Lilo and Stitch, which is the biggest like Memorial Day movie ever, and I didn't hear about any of the crashing then. So I doubt
No.
Fantastic
Yeah.
Four is going to be causing issues.
now
Propaganda.
I will say that I believe Fandango, when they come out and say that Fantastic Four had the biggest first 24 hours of any movie so far this year. And I believe that because a movie like Lilo and Stitch, you're going to have a lot of people buying stuff closer to that, a lot of families that are going, whereas these superhero movies, these Marvel movies are very front loaded, and everybody, like the people that do want to go, buy them quickly, and they're super top heavy on that opening weekend.
Yeah.
So it does not surprise me at all amongst the Snow Whites and Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts and all these other things that Fantastic Four would be the top first day sales. Above something like the family-oriented movies like Minecraft and Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, because they show up on the day with their families, buy the tickets right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But to crash the site,
yeah, that's well, we were able to like live on our live stream, we were able to look it up pretty easily. So it wasn't crashing anything. It wasn't crashing an app that I noticed. I think I wouldn't. It's bullshit. It's all marketing bullshit. And I don't know if a third party company leaked this out. They're up against Superman. They put out their tickets 2 fucking months early to create hype. They need hype, and they know they need to create hype because they know their last 3 projects were abysmal, performed abysmally, and they are truly worried, and they should be. They should absolutely be, because I've seen I heard a lot of talk. I heard a lot of fucking talk from people inside Marvel, like, we're changing things, man. You know, we pulled all the activists. And I haven't seen shit. I haven't seen any change in how they do things at all. And I don't think they can change. I don't think they're capable. I would like to be proven wrong. That'd be great. I have a hard time.
The machine's too big. It was running too long. And even if you wanted to change, even if it was genuine in the studio, they fired all the people, you still got a bunch of projects that you have to release. You have to release these projects. So we're not going to see it for a long time. And even then, in reality, shit ain't going to change.
Yeah, it's too late.
We've all been doing this a while, and we've all seen Wakanda Forever had the highest single day pre-ticket sales of the year. Thor: Love and Thunder had the highest like we've heard this over and over again.
When Solo had like, oh man, these pre-sales are so good, and look what happened to that thing.
Yeah,
It's same Disney marketing scheme they do all the time.
Well, this is
they're trying to
always
create
done.
FOMO so people go and buy tickets, and obviously it's just not going to work anymore.
This is no more different than when a horror movie says people died on the set, and it must be haunted
Right.
and
Yeah.
kill everybody.
Yeah.
People are throwing up from fear in the theater. You have to go see it.
Or when the opening screen of a ghost movie is based on a true story, like really how based?
Yeah.
To be clear, I throw up in the theater, but I think that might just be because the last movies I saw were like Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible.
Oh,
so I don't
that
think
makes
it was
sense.
from fear.
No.
I thought it was just something you did. You're just like, oh yeah, I'm here.
I'm not
Might as
gonna.
well.
I'm not gonna. Not gonna
That's
throw
where,
up
that's
at
where
home.
you binge and purge in the theater.
Oh my god.
I mean, I
This
live
popcorn's
here.
so
I'm not gonna
good.
throw up here.
Let me get a hot dog. Pizza.
But yeah, we talked about it last week with female Silver Surfer is a deal breaker for me. It's so fucking stupid. It's one of the dumbest decisions made, just like Black Snape. And I don't see the only way you can make her work if she's in it for 5 minutes and is a background character. But we know a little bit of the ending now, and it looks like, and hey, these spoilers have been wrong, but they have often been right too. That it's going to be Sue and the female Silver Surfer who defeat Galactus.
With the baby. With the baby.
With the baby, yeah.
Through
With
the
the
power of estrogen.
All right. Well,
Our powers
Gary,
combined.
Gary,
What?
would you prefer a female Snape and a black Silver Surfer one?
Black Silver Surfer's perfectly fine because he's covered in silver.
Silver
Yeah.
is silver.
You just got an afro. You just have to deal with the afro.
But wouldn't it be really funny if they're doing a
periods.
how funny would it be if they're
People of
doing
Earth.
if they're doing a 60s era Fantastic Four and they free him from the shackles of Galactus and he transforms back into his normal form and he's black and everyone's like, oh shit.
You still have to drink at the end of the fountain though.
He was
Yeah.
You save the universe and everything.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious, but I wouldn't have cared. Silver Surfer's Norrin Rad is the Silver Surfer. He's a fucking dude. I don't care if what I mean. Like if you look at Norrin Rad in the comics, doesn't necessarily have to be white. Kind of looks
Lawrence
a little.
Fishburne.
You know,
His
they used
voice.
Lawrence Fishburne as a voice, and it was great.
Right.
But if you want to make little changes, I mean, I would just say just cast everything accurately because it doesn't really fucking matter. These are all this is all a construct that you have created, woke Hollywood, and it's fucking bullshit. So I would just say cast accurately, always.
Mhm.
And you'll have a more authentic story. And if you don't want to have an authentic story because you're listening to the fucking dipshits within your building, then they need to be fired. Whoever made this decision needs to be fired. Should never fucking make decisions for movies or write their own grocery list again. Same for Black Snape. These are dumb decisions that are going to cost you money every single time. And Pedro Pascal's stupid too, but I think he's the only guy who would take the job.
I heard it was really hard to
He's
cast.
taken a lot in his time.
A lot of people turned it down. So
Yes.
Would you like to ruin
Why he
your
gets so many
career?
jobs.
No. Oh. Okay.
Pedro Pascal,
Pedro's
sign
like-
me up.
it's I would. My career already sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the corporations are the ones who introduced all this shit into fandom. They are by race swapping. It's none of us ever brought this. Nobody in fandom was walking in the comic store and going, Green Lantern needs to be a lesbian. Nobody's fucking said
Nobody
that.
asked for it.
I'd like
Ever.
a white blade.
Yeah, but
Maybe
think
I
about
don't know,
what,
man. I feel like
think
I
about
can
what you
finally
could do
relate
with
to Black
that
Panther now
rainbow.
that he looks like me. So, yeah.
It is a weird position though, because now even if they fire all the people in the company, they've got all the rules, the regulations, all the procedures in the company are built around the same thing. So you'd have to actually overhaul the entire corporate system as well as the people.
Yeah, you have to.
That ain't happening.
It's never
Well,
gonna
yeah,
happen.
but it's like who's making the decision? Well, if they're following what they have to do to get the film made, they kind of have to. Well, we've got to put it somewhere. I think this is why at the moment you've got things like Beekeeper, where there's a sideline where they put every tick box in it, and then they have the main movie and just the diversity storyline on the edge.
It's the
'Cause
thing that
way
can be
you
edited out.
Well, it's also where we can still have a decent movie, and then we
Right.
just occasionally cut to other people.
Well, and that's what we're stuck with, and that's what they're stuck with, and that's why the tent pole is dying. And if the tent pole is dying, then Hollywood is dying because you need the tent pole to bring people in, and then you need that middle of the road budget wise movie that has completely gotten gobbled up by streaming. Like Mobland would have been in the 90s a middle of the road mob movie that cost $30 million to make. But now they move that over to streaming, spend a little more money. And I mean, I don't know if it pulls a profit for Paramount Plus. I don't know how much they're in debt either, but more people are into it. And that's less for the theaters. Now the theaters have to rely on, we're in this year of slop where even if it's a hit, it's a remake of an animated movie, or it's an unnecessary sequel or prequel or
video
spinoff
game,
or
yeah.
requel. Yeah, it's just I mean, at least Minecraft was like they hadn't done that movie before.
There's something new.
You
You
know,
have to rely on the popcorn buckets.
Yeah, all it was an
yeah.
adaptation of the most popular video game in history. It was
Yeah.
Sad. It's like, oh,
Don't
hey,
get
oh,
one
at
of
least it's
them.
new. It's like, oh yeah. Real
I know
original.
they're really breaking ground there, Ryan. You know?
Yeah.
But
Can't wait for the Fortnite
Creating
movie.
lines that brought you Nacho Libre.
oh god,
Not
that's
sure.
right. Hey, pull up that article. The one I put in the bottom of research about
Oh.
spending so much money on movies. What's up, X-Ray Girl?
The ad read.
Oh, we're way past that. Forget it. We'll just get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You got to remind me like in the first 5 minutes. Okay.
There's a thing that you can buy.
Not 47 minutes into the live stream. Okay.
We're just
That's
getting
peak
started.
viewership. They should be happy about that.
Yeah.
That's
To
true.
be fair, she put something in a private chat 28 minutes after the live stream.
I'm not looking at the private chat. I'm looking. I've got all kinds of stuff, and
We
I
know
got
you
4
don't
hours
look in the
sleep,
private
Ryan.
chat, Gary. We know.
You would pay $400 million, or would you pay $400 million for this movie? Between
No.
delays, reshoots,
Superman
and
fight
rising
Tom
costs.
Cruise? I would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This year's
this
summer
movie?
blockbusters.
Yeah,
wait,
that movie.
Oh wait, yeah.
100%. Yes.
I take it all back.
Where's Sydney Sweeney?
The Raptors.
Where is
Really?
she?
Dinosaur
She's in the,
outfit.
She's in the raptor costume. Yeah.
God
when she's
damn,
taking her
sign me
mask
up.
off.
There's people in the
Oh,
chat
man.
going, would.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Honestly,
Including
she's-
Clap
Superman.
them reptile
she's
cheeks.
presenting.
I mean, she's
Look,
very interesting.
movies help us learn things about ourselves, okay?
Ah.
All right, sorry,
Yeah.
Gary. Go ahead.
It's all right.
Did Tom Cruise just get paid for fucking a dinosaur? Well,
Superman had to watch.
Well, Superman watched.
That's what it looked like.
Some of us just do it for the love of the game.
One of them looks like part of the Millennium Falcon.
It's a cuckosaur.
Took that bitch to a nice restaurant, spared no expense.
I like Superman's gold chain.
Was this,
Yeah.
was this an AI generated image?
Guys.
Gary, come on.
Oh, it probably was an AI generated image. Unless
No,
they
they
go-
normally
Say it might
underneath
have a-
it says
It might scroll down a little. It might have the attribution.
Lemio?
Lemure.
Yeah,
Lemure.
Hollywood
Le-
Reporter usually gets
Lemure.
the artists to do these.
We get the high end AI stuff.
No, they pretend they did not use it.
I'm really glad how they captured how fucking awful the Superman costume is.
Imagine someone there sitting with the prompts for the AI being like, no, make the dinosaur hotter.
Sexier.
For a second, I thought the golden chain were like pigtails, and I was like, why did they make Superman?
Now I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Now I can't unsee it.
Blonde
He's just
pigtails.
been invited to Wakanda. For the
Valhalla
inauguration
forever.
of White Panther, Black White Panther, man.
Between delays, reshoots, and rising costs. Hey, wait a minute. I just thought these are normal reshoots, guys. I just thought these are normal things that happen all the time. We're just being hyperbolic about all this. This year's summer blockbusters are racking up astronomically high price tags. When factoring in marketing costs, can the box office keep up?
Like this is a new thing?
No.
Oh, Gary,
It's okay to talk about now, Odin.
Snow White has officially finished its box office run with 87 million domestic.
Oh,
And a worldwide
even
of
tri- 205,545,088 bucks.
Well done. Congratulations. I think you slightly outgrossed the Marvels.
Yes, it's a $300+ million loss for Disney.
damn.
Woo.
Who could have seen this coming?
Ellie.
Who could have seen this
Everybody.
Mm.
Well, at least it's done now.
Fucking
Sleepy would've
Daredevil
seen
could
this
see
coming.
this coming.
Weird.
On Paramount's storied lot in 2018, Studio Brass and partner Skydance gave the go-ahead for Tom Cruise to make 2 more Mission Impossible movies following the massive success of Fallout. No one taking part in the decision some 7 years ago could have known what was in store for Hollywood, much less the world. Well, a couple people maybe or the minefield they would have to cross between COVID-19 delays. Stop right there. Garrett, you know what I'm going to say.
COVID mentioned.
COVID was mentioned. We're supposed to let it go.
Yeah.
But COVID was mentioned.
Take a shot.
And I'd like to remind you that Hollywood was allowed to work all through COVID.
Yep.
They were considered essential.
Thanks to Tom Cruise.
While your wife
Because
lost her
Tom Cruise
business,
lied to
Hollywood
him.
was
Yeah.
allowed to work.
I remember the story where it was the woman whose shop was closed and like the
Yes.
set,
Oh, yeah.
like they had built up like the what was it? The
Her restaurant
catering.
service.
Yeah, like craft services were put right
These
next to it.
motherfuckers, these motherfuckers shut her business down. I think it was was it a restaurant?
It was a restaurant,
You
yeah.
can't, use-
Wow.
you can't open your restaurant because it's too dangerous. Oh yeah, let's set catering up right in front of her restaurant.
Right in front of her restaurant.
Parking spots.
Wow.
My
It's
God,
literally like the driveway, past the other side of the driveway, craft services.
Right
but
there.
It's okay, guys. It was a COVID-free zone. Everybody was fine there.
Yeah, COVID wasn't going to enter those tents that were
They
open
had the
air.
mask
You
on, so
believe-
COVID was just like,
I wouldn't go in those Hollywood tents either.
And that delay was
I wanted to be
followed by the strike, so their industry got technically shut down twice within 5 years. Reshoots and rising costs due to inflation. Oh, is it?
What?
Oh,
What?
wait. What?
They said the thing.
What?
They said the thing.
Inflation.
What? You said inflation wasn't happening.
Now it's
So-
happening.
So
no, it's
now it was
okay.
okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
okay. It was under Joe Biden. There was no inflation, but now that Trump's president,
love these
suddenly
articles.
inflation's a thing again.
It's just denial. Of course it happened, guys.
Yeah.
Move
Happened
on.
all the time. We've been saying it the whole time. Yeah. Woke Hollywood's crazy. That was terrible.
We're
right?
with you. We're with you.
Yeah, we're against woke Hollywood from the beginning. The blockbuster hopefuls of the 2025 box office season. Remember, it was Survive Until 25, guys. Remember that. From Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, one of the most expensive movies ever made, to we've heard that a lot from a lot of movies. There's been a lot of most expensive movies
Well, they
ever
think it's a
made.
contest.
Yeah.
to
But it's
lose
a good
as much
thing.
money as
Contest to lose
possible.
money.
At
Yeah.
least with Mission Impossible, as mid as I thought the movie was, I at least was entertained by that, like with the stunts and stuff. It wasn't like The Flash, which was one of the most expensive movies ever made, or Captain African American, which was one of the most expensive movies ever made, or Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery, which was one of the most expensive movies ever made,
Force
or
Awakens.
The Marvels, which was one of the most expensive movies anyways, or The Force Awakens,
Rise of
which
Skywalker.
I think, The Rise of Palpatine was the most expensive movie ever made. I think they fucking sunk tons of money into that. And yeah,
Obviously, I had to pay for George Lucas to like time travel and teleport and make it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Release the Lucas cut.
My favorite part of Rise of Skywalker is that it's probably one of the only films to make $1 billion and lose money.
That's
Isn't it great?
insane.
So sad.
Yep.
That is absolutely insane. So DC, so it goes, one of the most expensive movies ever made, to DC Studios, Warner Brothers Superman, and Universal Amblin's Jurassic World Rebirth are saddled with price tags requiring sky-high box office returns. Rebirth did rein in its budget substantially compared to the prior film.
What's Rebirth's budget?
180 million.
5,000 million.
180 million.
I like how 180. Oh, they're pulling it back.
Oh, man.
It is considering what
Yeah.
Jurassic World Dominion was. That was like what 250 or
250.
something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, trust me, it is. But it's like when we're living
That's
in a
still
world where
retarded.
180 million is rating it in. It's like that's when you know budgets are out of
The
control.
it's-
Thunderbolts was 180 million, for fuck's sake. What
It's an A24 film, as Thunderbolts was an A24 film on an A24. 180 million would pay for like 30 A24 films.
Your homelessness.
They could pick out the 3 that do really well and just expand on those.
Yep.
It's like
An-
artsy Blumhouse.
Another title getting big buzz for its budget is Apple's original film, highly anticipated F1, which I want to see that movie. I
Yeah,
do.
isn't that like
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, $300 million. Ugh.
For a racing movie. I feel like
For
that
race.
should be super cheap.
Well,
Yeah.
F1 pretty popular in Europe.
Yep.
Pretty popular here
It's
too.
pretty
There's a
popular around
big
the,
di-
it's
Around the
very
world,
popular
yeah.
around the world,
Yeah.
but this is kind of what Apple's been doing. I mean, that Napoleon movie, that was $200 or $300 million, right?
Mhm.
And Apple, I mean, it did like nothing in theaters, but I guess that's more money than they would have made if they just released it on Apple.
Well, also
Lots.
the team behind it too, like they have a very clear system in play. I mean, it's the same team that did the Top Gun Maverick, that did Oblivion back in the day too. So it's gonna look great. Like that's the thing. Like the money goes, you can see where the money's being spent, unlike some of these other films.
Oh, it looks really
But
good.
it doesn't cost that much to make a movie look good.
No,
Like visually with camera, like the cameras are not correct. Like I mean, to us,
Godzilla
like-
-1.
yeah, like Godzilla -1.
Million.
Good example.
There's no reason a movie should cost this much money. It's total bloat.
Apple is definitely out there. It is a vanity project for them, and they have the money to burn. They do. So, which Warner Brothers is releasing theatrically. One source says the budget is $300 million, a figure disputed by the filmmakers. They always are. They always are. If that figure is the total before tax rebates and production incentives, the new budget could indeed be substantially lower. If it isn't, the ultimate spend could approach $400 million when including marketing costs. No one will divulge what the original greenlight number was, because it's probably closer to the number they're talking about, was for the 2 Mission Impossible films, but combined cost was a net $700 million before marketing.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ooh, boy.
Damn.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it, is
which
to
means with
try and
marketing,
make a profit.
Yep.
with marketing is over
Truly,
$1 billion in
Mission
spending.
Impossible.
Why is it so much money?
There's a lot of bloat. So Chris talked about it earlier today, and we've talked about it in previous videos. But even when you're over, and I don't know where they filmed, Mission Impossible was filmed all over the place, so they probably got some rebates on it. But like if you're doing it here, or if you're doing, especially in America, it is union bloat, corporate bloat, state bloat. There's 3 separate sets of rules that you have to follow. There's so much redundancy. And then you throw in, while they were filming during COVID, there was COVID restrictions.
Yes.
That cost more money
and
too.
that helped them at least in the first film. I think it's going to help them with this one too, where they got, it was an insurance claim that actually brought the cost of the last film down. I imagine that something might happen for this one too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they shot them in tandem, right?
They shot them at the same time back to back, and that was again, we all remember Tom Cruise, the leaked video or the leaked audio of Tom Cruise melting down on set, which even back then I said that I think everyone's kind of blowing this out of proportion because of what was at stake. Obviously, the COVID restrictions were retarded and stupid. However, they were legally required to make your movie. And if it didn't happen, everyone was losing their jobs. That's like what was at stake when that was going on. So all of the COVID elements also significantly impacted what they were doing, because they are not, unlike all these other places, they're not just doing something in a fucking green screen. They're not just fucking building a set green screen and can like control everything. They're out there. They're doing shit. Tom Cruise is
hanging off a plane,
jumping 16 times out of a fucking helicopter, and setting his parachute on fire to get the right shot for 1 second in the movie.
Respect for that. Massive respect for that. That's way better than spending the same amount of money, which we see Ryan standing in front of a fucking green screen or the volume.
Plus, in his interviews, it seems like he's been admitting that he was lying to a bunch of people to get movies made again, and it's like, that's amazing.
Right, yeah.
That's
respect.
Respect.
He was pulling those strings.
Trying to keep
we're
it
doing
going.
that over here already. Oh, you are? Oh, yeah.
Well, because he recognized what apparently the Hollywood Reporter didn't recognize. Who could see this coming? We shut down our industry a couple of times. Oh, and put on top of that, we've pissed off half the country by telling them to fuck off. I mean, I don't know why everything's down 40%. Crazy.
It's a mystery, Gary.
It's a total fucking
complete
mystery. So $700 million. Now in theaters, Final Reckoning's budget is $400 million after subtracting tens of millions of dollars in tax incentives and rebates from the various countries, including on its globe-trotting shooting schedule. As a way of comparison, Fallout's net budget was anywhere from 200 to 250 million, which is way more reasonable.
I actually don't. All their films were around there. The Mission Impossible movies' budgets were always 200, 250 million ish.
And they're actually usually lower.
The last
They're
two
usually
just
like the
went right up.
140, 165 range.
Yeah, yep.
Like for their stuff, which is why Final Reckoning was like such an explosion, or Dead Reckoning was such an explosion. But also, I do want to point out, they're going to talk about tax rebates and incentive a lot. typically what we're talking about is in the place that you're filming, what you can justify that you spent there. Typically you're looking somewhere between 20-25% of a potential rebate, right? This doesn't include pre-production. This doesn't include what you're paying your actor. This doesn't include fucking post-production. This just includes what you can justify spending while you're there, right there with those people there. So the idea that movies are cutting their numbers from 400 million to 200 million because of the tax rebates, that's not what's happening at all.
Well, I think, and that I think that was trying to say that it was after all the rebates that it was at $400 million. I think that's what the article was trying to say there.
Yep. Well, okay. So, like Force Awakens right there, $447 million. I think it's more. Last year's documents filed by Superman production team with the Ohio government seeking incentives listed the gross budget of the highly anticipated July film at $363.8 million when the number was reported. Director James Gunn, who also runs DC Studios.
Well, no.
I got to keep reading.
That's
No, just say James Gunn.
Superman's James Gunn.
Sorry, Superman's James Gunn. Lambasted the article. How in the world do they think they know what our budget is? Because you filed it with the fucking state.
Official documents with the government.
But other than that, how do they know?
We just wanted to secretly spend all this money.
An official tax form that needs to be filed with whatever state or country, wherever is happening to offer this rebate, that you're required to put in there what your total budget is. You're required to put in there what you spent in that state. In this instance, they spent around like $35 million in the state of Ohio during their filming. And I think they were able to get a tax rebate of like $10 million for that filming. It was filled out by Warner Brothers, submitted by Warner Brothers. And James Gunn's like, well, maybe an intern lied on it. So they committed tax fraud?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of implications here.
What are you talking about?
Remember, we just broke the law.
So it's at 200 million, and like that's where we are now. And I really don't know, like how you roll back from this. Like corporate America is not really big at contraction. They don't like it. They'll lay people off, but they don't like spending less money. They like having higher budgets. And you know, that's why we're seeing layoffs, not just at Disney, across the board everywhere because of the strikes. We said this was going to happen. There would be contraction. There would be layoffs. There would be corporations, you know, buying out other corporations. It would just get smaller. And now Hollywood's run by a mail order company, a phone company, and Netflix. You know, and Disney makes all their money off experiences. You know, not really the entertainment. And they're the biggest one. They're the biggest old school studio. The rest of them are in trouble. Universal's doing okay. But the number 3 studio is Warner Brothers. We mentioned the last couple of weeks. Their credits at junk status. So that's your number 3 old school studio, and fucking Paramount. Like they can't even get sold right now. Probably because they own CBS, who pissed off Trump. And the government has to approve their sale. Wasn't that supposed to happen already? Wasn't Skydance supposed to take over Paramount already?
Yeah, still in the process.
Yeah. And it's because there's a lawsuit with CBS.
The thing is, though, they don't have a choice about whether they want to cut money or not. You have to. And if any of the staff moan, well, it's not as if you have a transferable skill. You're not going from Hollywood to the next Hollywood somewhere else. You either take the pay cut or you leave the industry. And at this point, if you leave the industry, no one's going to miss you anyway. It might be time that a load of new people come in that will starting their career, which will be willing to take $5 million a movie rather than your 25. It's not as if
they'll get $5 million
cut.
and be thrilled. Million with an M? Oh,
This is the whole thing. It's not as if they're if they got their wages cut, they'd suddenly be destitute out on the street. So it has to be done. There is no argument. It's like, what was the it's like the Doctor Who line where he's like, "I am the Time Lord victorious. No one should have that much power," and he just goes tough. It's just that
tough.
And like and this is stuff, you know, we've been talking about. Now they're saying it openly in the Hollywood Reporter. Even if it's at 200 million, which they reported, it's still going to land in the 400 million club with marketing. So, you know, It has to make $1 billion to make money.
That's the interesting thing. If you scroll down, it's right there. The fact that they're spending $200 million on a marketing campaign, right? We recently, the top threshold level recently became 150 million. Very recently, with things like the big Marvel movies and Little Mermaid, Barbie, right? That had $150 million marketing. That has basically been like the top, and only recently became the top. Now we just upped that to 200 million for fucking Superman. So
that's why it's gonna make gangbusters.
Yeah,
so
totally.
If they are telling the truth about all of their rebates and incentives, it didn't get it down to 225. May have got it down to 300, but let's take them at their word, 225. That means you're in this thing for $425 million. So yeah, it needs to make over 800 million to break even.
And like, do they even track the effectiveness of the marketing campaigns? Because most of the stuff I've heard about Superman is from other people retweeting a trailer or something that they could have done for free on YouTube. And that's where
they
I've seen
are
it.
about to just this week they officially started their real push where they're gonna go around and do stuff. They officially released a bunch of posters. Like they're starting it now. It's going to be out a month of what they called Barbie level marketing.
I do wonder though, because you hear a lot of like Coca-Cola's brand marketing where they just spend loads of money so that you know the name, and they really should track. Like, does a poster on a wall somewhere actually get people into the theater or not? That like, what is the effect
nowadays?
in modern times?
Yeah.
$200 million.
I see a poster of a movie and I'll be like, oh, that movie exists. Now I'm aware.
Yep.
I see posters like this, and do you know where I see them? In the fucking cinema where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I see most of the movie posters that I see would be,
Or they're in bus stops, right behind the fentanyl zombie masturbating.
Yeah. Somebody lean and.
All right, Terry, I apologize.
You gotta go see Superman. I am.
I love Hot Girl. She
Hot
looks
Girl
so
looks
good.
Terrible.
Like
this helmet.
CW
Yeah, that mask was
baby.
awful.
It looks like an ill-fitting Halloween
Arrow,
costume.
season 15.
I still think this movie's going to be much better than Fantastic Four. I could be wrong, but I think it's going to be better.
That's more likely, I think.
Female Silver Surfer's stupid, so I'm just going to like that. That knocks it down to 10 points right there.
I think
0 out of 10.
It's just a much, which is
we'll see.
Yeah.
I would, if I had to bet on which one would be better, I'd bet on Superman.
I'd bet on Superman,
but I wouldn't bet a lot of money.
Well, I just at least like James Gunn or not, he's an experienced director, and you have a TV director doing Fantastic Four. You have Marvel doing Fantastic Four, and let's keep in mind, and I'm waiting for this article because remember, Thunderbolts was the great reset. That's like, this is where we're turning things around as Marvels with Thunderbolts, and they're going to go, no, it's with Fantastic Four. We're really turning things around with Fantastic Four.
It's the best Marvel movie since Endgame.
Yeah. But Hot Girl looks like shit. That looks terrible.
Yeah.
All their costumes are not very good.
And I heard my good friend Chris reasoning like maybe they get better costumes after they find out the Justice Gang doesn't work. And I'm like,
no.
Your first no. And like, why would you do that? Why would you save the good costumes for the end? That's so dumb.
Well, isn't it actually true now that Peacemaker season 2 takes place after Superman?
And they're wearing the same costumes.
And they're wearing the same costumes.
I don't know where Peacemaker lands in the timeline. It would make sense.
Who's the Simple Jack looking guy in the lower right hand corner?
That is Guy Gardner.
Simple Jack.
Yeah. That is Simple Jack.
Make my eyes rain.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, not really inspiring.
And why is the black guy in blackface?
Soon we'll all see Pedro Pascal
because he wants to be Black Panther.
He's got a T mask on because he's Mr. Terrific. Mm-hmm.
Maybe his costume actually looks good.
I actually
like him.
All right. I think
it's probably the best of the lot.
This is actually the best.
Yeah,
I like the T on his face.
I mean,
I'm fine with it.
Accurate. That's how he looks in the comic.
I like Mr. T. Yeah.
I
I mean,
a fool.
I'm not. It's not exactly. I'm
I
looking
pitted a
at it
fool
going,
about a ticket
I
to this
wonder
movie.
who that guy is. You know?
I don't
No.
think Guys looks terrible because like
It looks
it's.
horrendous.
His hair obviously looks bad. His outfit to me doesn't look horrible. Like when I think of Guy Gardner, I think of him in the vest and everything, like the old school look with him in the vest. And obviously this has sleeves, but his doesn't look awful. The hair looks bad, obviously, but
Well, it seems
Wow.
like
His
they
outfit looks
designed
pretty bad.
his outfit and then just modeled everybody else off of that. So that's why
I
they
mean,
all
it's-
have, because
it's
they're in
right.
a team, so they all have the same uniform.
It's at the real
It just
BBC.
doesn't look
I
good
said-
on her.
a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago on the real BBC, I said it just feels like everybody's costume was made by the same person.
well, I think that's they're supposed to
Hey,
look like
all
that.
of the Incredibles
No,
costumes
but I mean,
are made by the same
like
person.
Superman's looks the same as theirs, and you know, so
Oh,
it looks like the same stylist has done every single fucking person that's wearing a costume. Like Ultraman's looks like the same, and
Well, yeah, it's like if
everybody.
you compare that directly to James Gunn with Suicide Squad, the characters look like they had different design aesthetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there was like they were different characters that came from different places
Mhm.
and they were coming together. And this feels like it's all like homogenous.
Homogenized, yeah.
Which is like, I guess maybe that's a design choice. It's not a good
Like
one, I don't
the
think.
same lines on the Superman costume as they are on the Guy Gardner costume as they are on the. So it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doesn't feel like there's a unique designer here.
Do you know what the difference? Just
Oh,
bringing
it does
this up.
feel like-
The difference that when we talk about Superman, it's nerd debate
Yes.
topics, and when we talk about Fantastic Four,
It's
fucking
MCU.
red. It's MCU
Yeah, it's
red flag.
MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and I think what's interesting in July is both movies are really trying to lean into the comic book of it all, which is kind of the first time they've really tried. And I was just talking about this with Mahler when they showed off the Cyclops costume. I mean, it's like that's great. I really wish they weren't doing this as an act of pure desperation and trying to get comic book fans back and trying to actually lean into the comic book of all. You should have been doing that to begin with, because they're the things that you're basing your stories on that have lasted for decades. Thank you very much. But instead, it's an act of desperation. It's just an act of desperation, and they don't really give a shit.
It
And
also matters whether they're just doing it for like the costumes and the aesthetics, or whether it's actually going through and following the stories.
Following
'Cause
the
otherwise,
stories.
You're still
Well,
wearing it
they're
as
not.
a skin suit.
they're clearly not in Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, they are clearly not following the Lee Kirby stories at all.
Yeah, so they're only leaning into it like on a perception thing to try and lure you in,
Superficial.
so they can
Yeah,
do whatever they
superficially.
want.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's it.
So it's not out of reverence at all, and that's it shows. And like again, I'll just go back to Hot Girl. Like that's for one. I mean, the actress is fine for Hot Girl. I have no problem with it. Put her in a fucking Hot Girl costume. She's got the abs. That's why people liked her. But and you have this fucking template at DC too. Just the animated, like Justice League Unlimited, Batman the Animated Series. It's your fucking template. Just use that. For fuck's sake, it's been out there for 2 decades now, and they just refuse. So we'll see. I still think Superman's going to be better in Fantastic Four. I'll probably like it better in Fantastic Four. But at least we're scrutinizing it on nerd shit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
normal.
Let it not be said that we don't care.
Oh, we care.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we talk about it in the first place. I want
Exactly.
this stuff to be good. I want all this stuff to be good. I wish it was good.
I'm pretty sure we're just racist.
So we already
That's not.
That's
yeah, but
coincidental.
that's coincidental.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's-
That's an added bonus.
You can
That's
do
just
both.
flavor.
Both.
It is. So we did hear that they do not say truth, justice, and the American way in the movie at all. And that was from the
Oh.
first test screening. So they don't say, I don't think they use the phrase at all, but I think this is from a toy.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
So they say truth, justice, and the human way, which is
Oh.
just as bad. I mean, this is
What is
official
that
language.
pose?
But what does it mean?
Uh,
Hey, spoiler alert, there's 8 billion humans on the planet, and they're very different from each other.
Oh.
So what does truth, justice, and the human way mean?
Eat bread, live by water.
Is Superman gonna say, sorry, I can't save you right now. I've got fucking 5 prayers to say today. What exactly, how does that translate?
Superman's gonna go loot a Target in the middle of saving people.
Yeah.
But yeah, truth, justice, in the Haitian way. We can barbecue people and eat them.
And the cats and dogs.
It's so stupid. Look, we just went through Captain America: Brave New World, where they really wanted to when the name's in the fucking superhero, like Captain America, okay? But they tried to shy away, and you saw Anthony Mackie talk about that. They wanted to really try to distance themselves from it just being an American character because they needed to appeal to the whole world. Well, guess what? These superheroes became this way. Captain America became a global icon. Superman became a global icon using these attachments to America. So why don't you lean into the things that made these superheroes the heroes that they are, the characters they are, the reason we care about them? Lean into that shit instead of trying to shy away from it and thinking that, well, if we put the human way on this and we don't mention America, even though this motherfucker's sitting there in red and blue, maybe if we don't mention America,
and he's white,
Chinese people will fucking buy it. Fuck off.
Well, and again, that requires you to love America, and I think a lot of these people that make these content now basically hate this country.
That's the question we've always had is Superman is an American superhero.
Yes,
he's a very patriotic superhero. And apparently that hasn't been a problem internationally in the previous decades because everybody knows what the Superman symbol is and they don't hate it. So why not just be what it is supposed to be? But no, like James Gunn knows better. And we'll see if I haven't seen the movie yet. So maybe he leans into this. And there was a lot of talk, mostly from Peter Safran, who did say the term.
Yes, he did.
Truth, justice, in the American way.
Yes,
he did say that. I've always questioned, James Gunn's not putting the fucking American flag out in front of his house like ever, much less on the 4th of July. So I don't believe that. And we'll see if hope is not a strategy. Hope is, it's used by other things too. I'm sorry, looking at chat. Hope it's when you fundamentally change what a thing is, you break it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's like, how many times do we have to fucking say this? And show, they just don't understand. And they never will. Well, because they've never respected Superman. You know this as we've seen this in comics too. Like people, I have a really difficult time writing Superman. That's why it was refreshing to hear Mark Millar say, "No, Superman's easy."
Yeah,
it was in the comics.
First Superman is not a complex movie.
They started with Truth, Justice, and a Better Tomorrow. I think was the first kind of twist we had to the saying in the comics. The craziest thing about this is such an unforced error.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you really don't want to say truth, justice, in the American way, you're putting a blurb on the back of these toys. And this is the motto that probably goes throughout, for everything that comes with it, right? Just say, as the embodiment of truth and justice, he soon finds himself in a world that views these are old fashioned.
Yeah, that sounds
that's all you
way
have
better.
To say
that's all you got to do.
A massive controversy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like an aberration of something that you're ashamed of.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it leaves something out.
And that's exactly what this is. They're ashamed of it. So you're coming out with this American superhero and you're ashamed of America. We're worried
because they hate the country. That's why.
Yep.
I think it's a mixture of I think it's a mixture of because of just how fucking nuts things have been, the perception of the people around the world in America is not good either. So I think they're trying to do more worldwide damage control by saying, whatever we say, truth, justice in the American way, everyone fucking hates America. So, but it's kind of more realistically self-deprecating.
Like with Captain America, what they did with that.
Well, I mean, that was just retarded because there was no Captain America in the film.
Yeah.
I think that's Hollywood's perception of the international opinion that they have a problem with it. Because they have a problem with patriotism, so they think everyone else does.
Exactly.
The reason why no one has a problem with the American way is because, it's understandable that Americans are patriotic because you're also patriotic about your country, so you kind of bond about having the same principle but for a different thing.
I wouldn't expect Captain Pakistan to come out and say truth, justice in the Indian
Pakistan?
way.
Oh my god. That's like a South Park character.
Thank you, Commander.
I'm Pakistan.
Captain India.
I'm Captain Pakistan and I'm here for the Japanese people.
Yeah, there is a sense that you have to kind of kiss up to the international crowd by not embracing your
We are
American
here to offer you customer service.
There's such a in the West now. There's such a dirty perception around patriotism,
Yes.
and nationalism as if it's a bad thing.
Unless
By
it's
the way,
Wakanda.
we're gonna flood
Yeah.
our country with people who are coming in, leaving their own countries because of genocide, famine, all kinds of political monstrosities, while they come in waving their fucking flags, and you're just like, no, maybe right now is a really good time to adopt some fucking patriotism.
Yes.
Yep.
That's also why, though, because you can be patriotic about a thing if it's all you can be patriotic about England if everyone's English, but if everyone is from everywhere all around the world, then it's not England anymore. So why would you be patriotic about it?
Well,
It's a
that's
simultaneous way of destroying
Yeah.
the best thing that ever happened
That's
in
the
Doctor Who. They sent it
Principality
to hell.
State of London,
Yes. they did. We'll talk about that later. Holy shit. But yeah, you know what, it'd be really, and maybe this movie turns out this way, and that'd be great. Maybe Spider-Man, when it came out after 9/11. It was really inspiring. There's American flags everywhere, and that had a lot to do with its success. They need, America, the world needed just, some escapism, something fun. And
Kurt Angle was given the WWF belt. He won it because he was the patriotic wrestler at that time. He was the one that came out always in the American colors with the American flag, integrity, intensity, the three eyes and all that.
didn't the Patriots win the Super Bowl too? I mean, I'm not saying it's fixed. Okay.
Oh, dude, pick a year.
But
Pick
they
a year
did.
and a year. Pick a year and a year.
Yeah.
The one that gets me every time, even though he did some terrible things and terrible decisions, was when George W. threw a strike right down the middle at Yankee Stadium.
Yep.
That was just...
Dude, at every football game, the quarterback was coming out with American flag. People go, I remember Doug Flutie when he was with the Chargers came out. That was fucking crazy. Yeah. So
Bush going up
Ex-Patriot.
there. Say what you want to about Bush, whatever.
That was
Him
amazing.
Going out there in,
I like it trimmed.
in New York, like with a bulletproof vest on under his jacket and shit, and just firing a fucking strike right down the middle. Dude.
that was good. That was good.
Almost as good as when he's fucking on the golf course giving an interview about
on the line. Watch this group.
My favorite is when
we're
he dodged
gonna
the
get Al
shoe.
Qaeda. They're out there
the
running
shoe.
around, but we're gonna get him. Don't you worry. Now watch me smack this drive.
People loved him.
Yeah, they did. Then he started a bunch of unnecessary wars and got a bunch of people killed for corporations. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that
but-
pitch though.
no,
you
like
know.
Oh, forgiven.
good pitch though. But it'd be great if we had an inspirational and aspirational Superman. Like that would be great. And I'm fine with it being comic book, and I'm fine with him fighting kaijus. Wish they looked a little better, but I guess there's an explanation with that one. I don't know if it's going to be great in the movie but
It'll be an aspirational.
Aspirational.
Oh, but I did think that bobblehead looked good. I'll say that. I thought it looked good.
and David Cornsweet, I think the little behind the scenes thing they did with the kids, I thought that like they should do marketing like that. That's great. Can Warner's DC Studios rise from the ashes with Superman analysis? I mean, it's restarting. So you're rising from the ashes of DC that has never risen to really anything. After how many years?
Also rising to restart something that is only kind of restarting in some places. In other areas, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really confusing because there's still aspects of like the Snyder cut in James Gunn's Superman. Superman's James Gunn.
Yes.
That they're going to fix in
the
Peacemaker.
DCEU. In the DCEU, there's still aspects of the DCEU universe that continue to exist in the new DCU, which makes no sense.
Well, don't you think the biggest one is the fucking clinging to the word hope?
I thought it was his wife showing up and everything, but that's
that's just nepo, mate.
yeah.
Truth, justice, and the nepotism way.
So now I need to know: did Bloodsport, like the person he shot in the Suicide Squad, with the Superman that he put in the hospital with a kryptonite bullet, was that Henry Cavill or was that David Cornsweet?
Don't know.
Because clearly, Peacemaker, who's in that movie, exists in a universe with the DCEU Justice League, because we saw them at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that show is continuing. Those characters exist.
No, it's different. It's a different Peacemaker.
Is it?
That's what they'll say.
There's multiple. It looks like there's multiple Peacemakers in this series.
Oh goodness.
Well, at the very end of the trailer, another Peacemaker points a gun at Peacemaker's head. Says, "What are you doing here?"
Where the fuck are you?
And it's got something to do with those pocket dimensions that are going to be in Superman, and they kind of introduced that in the
I
first.
just want to see the monkeys.
The first fucking movie we're introducing multiverses.
I know, dude.
Yes, I'm so
Aw.
excited. I love multiverses.
They're so neat, aren't
It's
they?
every
Decade
multiverse
space
version of
laser
me loves
thing.
multiverses.
It's never been done.
In the first
No,
movie, we're
never.
introducing Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, Maxwell Lord. You know, it's just like
Metamorpho,
Metamorpho.
The
Oh my
engineer.
God, yeah, the engineer. Fucking
Ultraman.
Ultraman. Are you fucking shitting me? It's
And
like
then
Zack Snyder's like, hey guys, calm down with mixing the metaphors here, please. Even fucking Zack Snyder's doing that, for Christ's sake. Oh my God. What? Wait for Brainiac to turn up at some point.
Which version?
He does at the
Pick
end
one.
of the movie.
I mean, literally pick one.
as he
This is
shows up in the post credit scene.
I think
is
so.
that what the leak
Yeah, no, he does. He
Yeah.
does. He does.
Jeez.
Green Hal Jordan and Brainiac show up in the post credit scene.
Do you remember how Brainiac was portrayed in the CW?
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Brainy.
Oh.
Oh God.
Oh, at first I thought you were talking about Smallville. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
Oh, no, sorry. The Arrowverse. CW.
The Arrowverse.
Yeah,
The
at
others.
one point in that, they said he was so smart he could control gravity. And he's just like horizontal on a wall in the middle of a fight scene.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That could,
And he'd periodically have lights in his forehead.
This
Oh.
version of him starts working with Kara and everything, and like they nickname him Brainy, and he's just part of the gang by season 4 or whatever the fuck.
Does he become a lesbian as well?
Yeah,
I
he
don't
goes on
know.
to join.
No,
Character
he gets
He joins the
with,
musical Wicked.
He gets with a trans character.
The trans character, Dream.
So he's gay.
The fuck is that character's name? That was when it's sad to say that the introduction of the trans character was when I finally noped out of the Arrowverse.
Oh, it took you that long, huh?
Wow, it was
Way
a
down the
long
road.
ass time of watching.
He is a real fan, a
Bro.
true fan.
I was just committed, you know. I'm like investing so much fucking time and watching all these things and the crossovers and all this stuff. And Supergirl was the show I hated watching the most, but I was like, I want to keep up with it to keep up with the crossovers. They did that, and I'm like, I'm fucking done, bro.
This is my straw.
This is
And
my
it's
struggle.
broken.
Wait, what?
What? Hmm?
Hey,
Excuse me?
My
My
straw.
struggle.
look, the final solution for Brainiac. Oh, no, don't worry. That's
If there was a bowling ball themed superhero, it would have that logo.
Oh my god.
Who do you think you are? I am.
I have
Bowler.
3 holes.
There is a mystery, man.
Yeah, the bowler.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing is with him as well, they kept
I'm
on
the
about he was
tri-hole
like
kid.
like a 5th dimensional intellect or whatever he used to say, but then he would constantly be outsmarted by the women that worked everywhere, and he'd just be like, oh, you're so intelligent, I wish I was as good as you, like in the show.
Bro, can we find that? Can we
What is
find
Vicky,
that
then?
clip of? It's a Martian Manhunter where there's a bunch of different Martians sequence in Supergirl where the effects and the CGI and the
Oh, I know
choreography
exactly
and
what you're
everything,
talking about.
it just exemplifies everything that happened with CW. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
The fact that the CW went on that long is a testament to failure. It's
It was a lot of early
You get it
success,
already?
I think, that kind of
All I
carried
had
it
to do
forward.
There was. There was.
terrible CGI, and it's the first thing.
Yep,
that you see.
yep. I got it too.
It was
Yeah.
those 20
I know,
years
it's
of their shows, like, what was it? I guess they had picked up at that point Smallville, and Supernatural was successful for a long time.
So the thing with that, and we always talk about that the CW didn't make money ever in its history, which is true.
No.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean that none of the individual shows were profitable for them.
Yeah.
It just means that all the shows in totality that they
Yeah.
aired never made a profit.
Oh, I hit the button. My bad.
Oh, what'd you do?
My
What is
bad.
this?
Summer
It's
Games.
Rocket
When the ones you
Raccoon.
love turn their back on you.
Huh.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
It looks
what
like-
what is happening?
You got to play it from the beginning so we can listen. to
I
it
just
and
don't want it to
see-
get hit.
I know.
Wearing a garbage bag?
That
Oh my
transition.
god! Oh god!
It's like an AI generated.
What are you
meme.
gay?
Wow, she's so fast.
Oh my god!
And sex with men.
There's Brainy. There's the lesbian sister.
As a lesbian,
I used to be straight in season 1. Oh, no.
How old is this?
it's just a few years old.
This is
It's not that
Oh,
old.
man.
Made in America?
That hairstyle was towards
Parody.
the end because that was the no touching without consent hairstyle.
Yeah.
This looks like
You know-
foreign TV.
Unironically, if they wrote this to be like a parody and it was clever, people would watch the fuck out of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes without the special effects?
Okay,
Wait, is this
Disparu-
not the
Dis-
behind the scenes?
No, wait, wait, wait.
Transition? Oh, no.
Wait.
Did you see the flash without
Why-
the special effects?
Disparu, why have you seen the behind the scenes with that?
I've seen all of
I need
Supergirl.
to
I didn't
know
know about like
He's a
I
connoisseur.
saw it to the end.
Oh
This
my
looks like
god!
a bad porn version too. Like
No, that would have
No,
better.
the porn
does look
version
like a
was
trash
Stop
bag.
fucking,
No.
you know. It's-
all
Well, it is the bad porn version
people,
because it's missing all the sex.
they
This
would
is
have
why it's
passion
funny
in
when
what they're doing.
this is why it's funny when people call me a grifter for watching bad shows. I'm like, no, I did it before I made videos. I saw
Yeah, dude.
all of this stuff.
Yeah, this is
we
who
all
I
did.
truly
Yeah.
am. Thank you very much.
Funny because Kara's sister, Alex, that's her name, right, Disparu?
Yes.
Yeah. Alex. She when it started on CBS. The first season was on
Yep.
CBS.
That's right.
And it certainly was. There was a lot of feminist messaging in it, and with Cat
Yeah.
Grant
Yes.
and everything. But it was kind of like normal-ish. When it went to CW, it went from like, yeah, we got to stick together, girl power, to let's make an entire arc in this season about illegal immigration.
Yep, or gun control.
Yeah.
Let's make this thing about how fucking Jimmy Olsen is black and everyone hates him because he's black. Let's make a trans superhero. It was just
oh my god!
It gets worse.
and
You see
Alex, when it
Supergirl.
started on CBS, Alex was straight. And then as soon as they moved it to CW, they made her a lesbian.
That's what it's meant to be. The
That's what
start is the best.
Okay, let's take a look.
Smoking is awesome, kids.
Yeah, so this is him firing the smoke at people. Oh, it's frozen.
Looks like he's jerking off two guys.
And wait till you see
movie
her
magic.
fly.
It's like
Wow.
Oh no!
They always,
We actually had the
that's what they have to
Supergirl
do,
costume.
unfortunately.
I
How,
like
like
what it
all
said.
movies look, with the exception of
Yes.
this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Greg Gustin would be like, it was really embarrassing to do the super speed because I literally had to start from a position and run. He said I'd have to like run and then get to my mark and not be out of breath because then they would just speed it up.
That's hilarious.
And whenever the Flash ran, they just render the city, but no people. So like no cars, no people. It's the emptiest place you've ever seen.
They all
Got the fuck
disappear.
out, mate.
They all
You
disappear.
guys
Hey,
hear the CW's in town? We gotta go.
Everything filmed in Vancouver, I think.
Yes.
Listen, there's a lot of empty gravel pits outside of Vancouver where those bad guys need to get a butt whooping. All right.
It was like a Power
Or they're just going
Rangers
to the woods
episode.
in
It
Supernatural, just going to the, into the
Wait,
Vancouver
you guys-
woods.
I think comics are saved.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Comic
that's
books.
good.
Oh yeah.
Comic
It's been a long
shops,
time, yeah.
comic
Oh.
books,
Okay.
superheroes. So no matter what happens in July or Doomsday,
Mm-hmm.
I think they have a future because
Good.
it's happened, boys. We did it.
Yeah. Whatever
White-
do you mean?
White
We
savior.
did it.
White savior.
Ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. White Black Panther.
Don't let your memes.
They must have been inspired
Finally,
by Ryan's
it's our
costume.
turn.
Yeah.
We did it.
I feel
Finally,
seen.
a Black Panther. I can.
I feel seen.
Too. Yeah, I feel seen.
Finally, we can get Ryan
get these
Gosling
people out of
into
here.
you.
Okay,
Can't relate.
There we go.
Yo,
That was
I can,
Alias halfway down.
thank God I can buy this as I've never been able to buy a Black Panther comic until now.
No.
I'm just happy that little white boys everywhere who are never able to see themselves in a Black Panther comic will finally feel represented. That's
Martha's
the line,
Vineyard
right?
In all
forever.
fairness, Ryan, white boys are never going to feel represented in Wakanda. So I'm just like,
Finally, we can see Black Panther playing Dungeons and Dragons and hopping on a pogo stick, just
Hey.
like it was originally intended to.
finally, you can hear the word "dude" after every sentence. Yay!
Yeah,
Finally,
Wakanda forever, dude.
We can leave our cars unlocked.
finally we can see the upper middle class life of Black Panther working in
I'd laugh at that. I'd do
401k.
Finally, we don't have to lock up the toiletries in the store.
Oh.
We can
No,
go to
we
the
still have to do that.
Excuse me,
Just
sir.
for
Did
the
you pay for
suntan
that water?
lotion.
Yeah, you did. Never mind. Carry on.
I can't wait till he fights his arch nemesis, the ice gorilla.
Nice gorilla.
Last time we met, you were only a mayo monkey.
Mayo monster.
I am the honky.
Yeah, and like
Now
I am all the monkey.
You know the best part about all this? It's done by Christopher Priest, who's a
Yes.
black man.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely hilarious.
So
he is going to be a villain. He's
Of
not
course,
actually
yes.
going to be the son of T'Challa.
We're
He's
gonna
going to
John
get it
Walker
taken back away, and everything will be right in the Black Utopia, right? So that's ultimately where the story's going to go, quite obviously. But
this is-
I'm sure that they've done this, right? This is my theory. They've done this because when we do our, superhero chat, it usually involves they race change this guy from white to this. They sexuality change this character from straight to gay. They gender change this character from male to female. They'll never do it the other way. They'd never do it the other way, blah, blah, blah. And now they can say,
Christopher Priest is like, he doesn't suffer fools, and he's talked openly about like, hey, they tried to just put me on all the because he's black, so like on all the black characters he's all no, and he's actually he's a really good writer, so I can definitely
Good.
So this takes place in the new Marvel Knights. Listen, I haven't bought a fucking new Marvel comic in 4 years now, and I won't because fuck them. But apparently it's a new Marvel Knights moniker where this takes place slightly in the future in the 616. So near future, something like that. And Ryan's right. This is like some son, blonde hair, blue eyes. So I'm not seeing a lot of, just a family resemblance there.
apparently it's T'Challa's
Never
son.
stops him before.
You need Maury.
The royal family of England just randomly switch for no reason.
It's my mixed brother. My mixed brother. There we go.
and I'm pretty
Black
sure the
Panther.
people that the mother that people are connecting him to at this point is also black. So like it really doesn't make any sense that T'Challa would be his dad. So
He
I
literally had. Oh no, I can't
It
say
usually happens the other way.
I mean,
It
it
was-
was like I
Yeah,
imagine
white,
in two
white
episodes-
ancestor, maybe. I don't know.
in
This
two
is
episodes,
Gatwick's
it's
kid.
either going to be some misguided whatever who like recognizes the error of his way and like bows down to the black man, or it's going to be a Trump allegory and he gets defeated, or it's going to be a like post-apartheid South Africa type of allegory and he's going to be defeated. Like that's what's going to happen in a couple things. So I don't think this guy's like a permanent Black Panther.
No,
No,
not at all.
no. Nobody's thinking that.
Post-apartheid South Africa. This guy's
However-
genocided for being white.
Yeah. However, I do think that as we've seen with the introduction of Shalabal, even if a character is only a female Silver Surfer for like 5 comic book panels, that justifies being able to use that character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's
Exactly.
canon.
Yeah.
It was in the comics.
Ryan
just a
Gosling
fictional
for
character,
Black Panther.
guys.
Make
It
I
doesn't
saw it on
matter.
Wikipedia.
It's just a fictional character. And of course, the Black Panther should be black. This is fucking retarded. And it's done to get headlines and it worked. And I think it's fucking hilarious. I'm going to lean into this all day long. I fucking love this decision, no matter what happens, because you know what? Nobody's going to read the goddamn comic book by the time it comes out. When we find out he heel turns or is a evil to be, who gives a shit? Who cares?
Just wait till the Mary Sue writes that article saying they were cheering for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're cheering for it. Yeah. The first issue out came out this week, so it is available for people to pick up if they really want to pick it up, which I suggest you don't.
I'm gonna get this fucking thing CGC 10.0.
True story. I was at the comic book store today and I did not pick one up.
It's just ultimately the irony of the fact that they literally made the meme real. That's the funniest part about all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you have to take Ryan Gosling's head off and just put his.
Yeah.
A lot of the time when they do this, the villain's the best character in the thing anyway, and everything he wants is amazing. So it's like, I just wanted Civilization classical music.
You just fucking gave me an idea. Get that Black Panther 1/6 scale. Get a Ryan Gosling head. You could easily do that.
Yeah.
Custom white Black Panther. Let's fucking go.
This is comic book accurate.
Yes. Oh my god. So yeah, it's made headlines and it's fucking hilarious. And just watching, people on Twitter when they weren't bitching about Elon and fucking Trump, talk about
Why
this.
Didn't they make Elon Black Panther?
They should. He's from Africa.
Yeah.
That's been the best part, is watching the hypocrisy. The people who every time it happens say, well, it's okay. Why does it matter? It doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's a fictional character. They're wearing a mask most of the time anyway. It's good for other people to see themselves. As soon as the fucking shoe is on the other foot, they were screeching about it.
Of course.
Of course.
And
Not a
it's
surprise.
fucked up. Black Panther shouldn't be white. He should be black. In the same way that Captain America shouldn't be black. He should be Steve Rogers, a white dude.
It harkens back to when they were going to do another.
I was going to say should be white.
It harkens back to when they were going to race swap Buffy in the previous reboot, and Anita Sarkeesian got all upset about it. Of all fucking people.
No,
that's the name I haven't
Princess
heard.
Speaks of the Mary Sue also got really twisted about too, which I thought was hilarious.
Wonder what she's doing these days.
You fuck with franchises that women actually like, and you'll get the rap.
Yeah. Sitting all the money that she stole.
Yeah. Counting it.
I think
She
that's
stole
long
a
gone.
lot of money.
No, it's all invested in art, remember? She went
Oh,
to Italy,
right,
just bought
right.
loads of art.
So that is your new Black Panther, ladies and gentlemen of the future.
I,
Art
for
by
one,
Joe
welcome our
Quesada.
new white overlords.
Thank you. We did it.
White boy summer.
White boy summer.
Where are the black women at?
Yeah. There should be a speech bubble right there.
Legion of Memers, do your stuff.
Yeah. Go. Oh my God.
By the way, can you just bring up those Superman posters?
White
again,
chocolate.
please?
Why?
Why? Just for a second.
It's going to be like the longest setup for a joke.
Yeah.
Fester.
Can we just have James Gunn in one, please? James Gunn is James Gunn.
Somebody did that.
Someone did that.
Yeah,
All the
somebody
photos
already
were
did it.
James Gunn. Yeah.
Another thing I'm going to point out again is the font. The logo is terrible.
It's CW. Look,
It just
it's
says
CW
Superman. Like
Yeah,
nothing
it is
dynamic
very-
about it.
It's plain. It's not stylized. It doesn't match with it. It matches with everything and matches with nothing. It's very.
Yep, and it makes you wonder. I think rights issues has a lot to do with costume changes and everything because Superman becomes public domain soon. Very, very soon. They can't fight it.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it. Let anyone make it.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like at this point, yeah. No one. Clearly, the stewards of Superman haven't been doing a lot to convince me.
Nope. But can't wait for that white Black Panther movie. I'm there opening day.
Has to be Ryan
I
Gosling.
think it'll be the white people's Black Panther, white black people.
What?
Sure. What?
What?
I recognize
to be
the
like
words.
a tongue twister. How many whites?
Do
in a
you
white,
think
white,
it'll
white?
be white people's Black Panther for black people?
Oh.
White people's Black
We'll all be
Panther.
represented. Yes, I see.
What, where they stand outside the cinema and stop them going in so that everyone else can enjoy
No,
it?
when
Remember
they
that
hit all
was
the
like
targets.
for us.
Oh
This
my
was for
god.
us.
So does that mean we'll get discounts when we go to see it? Because it's our time.
I hope so.
Remember, who's it? There was somebody said, if you're white and you've bought a ticket for Black
right.
Panther,
Yeah.
you need to give it to a black.
Oh, right.
Respect
That's
their
right.
space.
They
You
were
shouldn't go
saying
even.
that.
Oh, that's right.
Buy them tickets.
I was
for
very
the show.
confused.
That was so
Make it a
funny.
safe space for them.
From
Oh.
Wakanda Forever. That
You
was
just
from
gave your
Wakanda
ticket
Forever.
stub.
Garrett had to give his 3/4
was-
tickets to his 1/4.
Yeah, I can only watch like the first 25
Yeah,
minutes.
what happens when now you
Walk
watch
out.
in your wallet? Oh,
I was just
fuck.
thrilled to hear that
Like
I
you're allowed
was
in the
in
made
on,
screen,
someone
but
feel
you face the
unsafe.
back.
Uh-oh. New DC news.
Uh-oh.
Always good news.
Always.
That's right. There's bound to be legal drama when Batman and Superman enter the public domain in coming years, but experts caution there's no precedent for the thorny
A horny
issue.
issue.
The horny issue.
What do they mean? There's public domain has existed for decades.
Yeah.
Maybe something of
Like
this
we know
scale.
exactly what it means.
Mickey
Well, maybe
Mouse.
something of this scale.
It means a shitty straight to DVD bottom of the barrel horror movie's going to come out with
Oh, it's gotta be
Superman,
From Disney.
Batman.
it's going to be golden age Superman and Batman, and it has to be very specific to the
Yeah,
certain
to
time.
that
Same with
version.
Flash Gordon. Yeah. And there's
But
been a
that would
lot of
cocaine
That
Batman.
would be badass. So like imagine public domain, Superman goes in and somebody spends $200 million on a original version of Superman, traditional, like that would be great.
1930s Art Deco.
Yeah.
He can't fly. He can only jump. Stuff like that.
Yeah. Batman's blowing people away with a gun. He's just
Yeah.
He's shooting communists
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
machine gun.
yes.
From his
Oh my
Batman.
God.
That would
Why
be
not?
glorious.
Take my money.
Dude, have a Batman, a John Wick-esque film. Oh man, you could do that for nothing.
I'm
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I'm in.
Yep. No, it's I forgot what the date's coming up, but it's soon.
20,
It's
2035.
100 years, right? 100 years
Is it?
from
Yeah,
No,
Lady
I think, it's
Gravemaster.
I think it's slightly
It's supposed to be
less.
75
Slightly
years.
less.
Yeah.
Supposed to be
Oh,
75.
I think it's 20. I think it's 35. I think it's 2035.
Yeah, Lady Gravemaster says 2034 for Superman, 2035 for Batman, and Wonder Woman is 1937. Sorry, 2037.
1937.
2037. My bad. We're
Hey,
going back
and then
in
right after that, the Batman 2 will come out.
Get in, Marty. We have to save the public
will
domain
release.
for Batman.
Yeah.
Someone else will have made it.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's go to Doctor
I
Who.
was going to say Doctor
Let's
Who.
start.
Oh, God.
Now,
Well,
have you not been
next-
streaming, Gary?
nope.
Okay.
I'm tired. Fuck off.
It's a hell of a warm up, mate. I've used all my best stuff. I'm out.
That's
That's
it.
what
Huh?
Doctor Who thought.
I'm done.
That's what. Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, I'm definitely
So-
done now.
We've definitely got
Hello.
a lot more clarification since the
looks happy.
regeneration into Billy Piper. I would have used a much worse. She's got a
Retardation.
horrible phrase. Yeah.
That was my
It-
favorite response to this. Everyone didn't say, is she the Doctor? It was just, what has she done to her face? It was immediate.
Oh, hello.
I don't know how to feel about this. A lot of people have been saying this looks like me.
People Botox.
Damn.
Doctor regenerated into Chrissy Mayer.
Oh.
She's going to tell racist jokes next season.
Ooh, yeah, I
that
have
would
to get a
improve-
little.
that would
I need to
improve
get a little
it.
Got
lip
me.
filler.
That
This
episode
isn't the
with
first time
Juicy
a
Gats
black
coming
man's
back.
pulled out of me. But,
Wow.
I guess it was appropriate that Shirigatwa was wearing a fucking dress this entire episode, so that when he regenerated, like Billy
wa-
Piper, comes in
Ryan,
the dress.
He didn't know he was the Doctor, and when he finally remembers he's the Doctor, he puts on his battle skirt.
Battle skirt.
He
His
walks
battle
da-
skirt.
He walks down some stairs, drops his suit jacket on the side, and then he's standing there like to hero music as it zooms in on him wearing this skirt.
I know that was so awful.
And he looks like he's in like RuPaul's Drag Race. He's all, "Let's go, girls!" Doctor's
remember,
back.
they regenerate clothes now as well.
They
And then his
bi
wife
generate
turns to
as.
the baby and goes, "Surprise, Daddy's home." I'm like, whoa.
Well, last time they bi-generated, though, is Tennant had some of the clothes on and Shooty had other clothes. What if Billy Piper bi-generated and her tits were hanging out?
That would have spiked the ratings a little bit. I think.
Doctor Who again.
They wouldn't do that.
Oh, Doctor Who is one of those shows. Oh,
Yeah.
well, sign me
It's
up.
like, I was like, maybe.
From
Oh,
Radio
why am I-
Time.
Oh, they've changed their logo.
Oh my God! Why am I
God.
Why am I forgetting the name of the show? What was the show that was on Showtime that she was in with Frankenstein and
Penny
Ava
Dreadful.
Green?
Penny
Penny
Dreadful.
Dreadful. Yeah,
Dreadful.
she's naked, and Penny Dreadful is a dead body.
Yeah.
So
Is it actually
Ridley.
her though? Because in Secret Diary of a Call Girl, she used a body double for all of it.
Yeah, it might have been a double.
That was Daisy Ridley's first acting appearance as Corpse number 1 in some random show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now like Daisy Ridley.
Was it Prime?
You know what? They should have had her laying her face.
Suspect. Right.
Laying face down in that one. She might have got more roles.
You know, we should put her in the new Star Wars.
This corpse has actually got, even though she's flat, she's got quite a nice ass.
It's all about proportion. It's not about size. It's about proportions.
Yep.
As long as you've got cleavage, it doesn't matter which way it's facing.
Oh, look at Radio Time's logo there too. Good God.
Oh,
It's-
praise.
I'm happy to say,
memo, but I guess it's in the UK.
I'm gonna say I'm happy to say it's one of the very few companies that still is actually doing something with it.
Yeah.
Just for context, if you don't know, audience, the Radio Times was once owned by the BBC.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
Shooty Gatwa deserves as much praise as Christopher Eccleston after an early Doctor Who
No,
exit.
he doesn't.
Nah.
Yeah, that's why we should praise him, because he left early.
Yeah. While Gatwa certainly deserved more time. Okay, define
No.
that. How did he deserve more time? Please explain that, because all his ratings were the lowest in the show's history. So I would argue he didn't deserve the time he got.
That's
Gary,
the
he
audience's
deserves
fault.
lower ratings is what he deserves.
That's
Yes.
the audience's fault.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, it all depends on whether or not you're grading by the meritocracy or grading by inclusion and diversity. They're very different outcomes. So.
Because equity would say you have to start off with like the highest ratings, and then you add on top his ratings, and then it's actually he's the highest rating of all time. Yeah, it's equity, right? Yeah.
So while Gatwa certainly deserved more time as the Doctor, he most definitely didn't need it, guys. He was just brilliant all the way through. It was fucking terrible.
Brilliantly retarded.
My favorite bit is where she gets told that he's had a baby with a woman, and he just bursts out laughing.
Yep.
And then
So did
when he really believes it, someone goes, "Well, you don't have a baby." He's like, "How dare you?
I know.
I've been on this ship, and he essentially went, I've been to Greg's. I have traveled the world and been to every fast food restaurant. I have a child."
I went to the corner store.
Nearly 20 years have passed since the day Christopher Eccleston regenerated into David Tennant. And apparently, a lot of fuckery happened behind the sets on that one. By the way, on
Yeah,
Doctor Who,
a long time apart. The two recordings, very far apart.
and yet the memories are just as vivid as no, actually they're not. Those memories are fading of good Doctor Who. To be honest with you, I may rewatched in a few times, but stay with me. No, I'm not going to stay. Like, do we have to read this whole thing? Are they going to try to tell us how Shooty was good?
Somebody has to.
I have more understanding as to why an actor like Christopher Eccleston or indeed Shooty Gatwa would choose to leave Doctor Who.
Eccleston left early because he couldn't stand he couldn't stand Russell T Davies, Rory Tranter, Phil Coulson, Jane Tranter. He couldn't stand them.
Yeah, and stated it publicly at a con. It's a great clip.
Yeah,
use it all the time. So did Shooty leave or was he fired?
Do we
Depends
care?
which room he
yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
does anyone
Does it
actually
really
care?
I don't really care. No,
The
not
outcome
in-
was
not
good.
in the
If
If
least.
he was
we-
fired, they certainly would want to soften it as much as possible
Yep.
in terms of its public
Well,
perception.
this is why. This is exactly why they put Rose in at the end. They put Rose in at the end because they can't have the word "canceled" be floated out there because you can't have canceled the first black gay male doctor. And you have to say it like that. The first black gay male doctor, because he's not the first gay doctor. Nope. He's not the first black gay doctor. Nope. He's the first black gay male doctor because the last 4 doctors they have introduced since Peter Capaldi, all 4 of them been gay. They're all gay.
Gay.
David Tennant's
Statistically,
14th.
And when everyone's gay, nobody's gay.
Exactly.
True. You go to a furry convention, you'll learn that.
I'll take your word for it.
Have you been to one?
Yes.
Yeah,
Wait,
been
what?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Az and I went to Atlanta a few weeks back.
We were donkey.
Which one was the ass?
We were a donkey. No, you were a spotted cow with boots on. Okay. So indeed, Shutigawa would choose to leave Doctor Who what with the uncertainty of the Disney Plus deal, well, considering that Tony Gilroy just came out and said that Disney Plus is broke and they're cutting all their funding,
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're going to, that's the one thing we'll get a word on. I think we will get an official word soon on Disney pulling the plug on Doctor Who. I don't think we'll ever hear that it's canceled.
I just am surprised it lasted this long from everything I hear about it.
Yep. And the show's future in general, not to mention a wealth of career opportunities ahead of him. Wow. Gay
really?
best friend.
Well, this is the thing. Over here, he might be a special, unique snowflake that all the London lovies absolutely adore. When he goes over to America, that's 10 a penny. Like, he could be replaced in an instant. I don't know where he thinks his career is. Although there were rumors that one of the reasons he left was because a perfume company offered him, I think it was the same or double the amount of money he would get for a year on Doctor Who for 2 days' work. So,
Wow.
Oh.
A perfume company?
I'll put on a fucking dress for that.
That's
I
gonna be
doubt
murder
the
on his
BBC
knees.
I doubt the BBC played big bucks for even these kind of roles.
Nope. So future in general, not to mention the wealth of career opportunities ahead of him playing the gay best friend in sitcoms. But still, there was no less of a headache or heartache involved as I watched him wrap up his tenure as the 15th Doctor this weekend, gracefully bowing out after just 2 seasons of the show. Gracefully, he bowed out after he bowed out of Eurovision.
But
The second gayest thing that was on that day.
After they had to reshoot 20 minutes worth of extra footage to add on the end just to give him a goodbye that was never filmed. Yeah.
Yep. And they always plan to have him quit in the middle of the week.
I mean, we had a different ending for the episode, filmed, ready to go with more storylines, but no, it was always planned.
Nope. Yeah. I won't bother to pretend I'm not upset that this immensely talented actor has to say goodbye to the Doctor, having never faced the Daleks, the Cybermen, or the Master.
Although they did.
I'm
fit
sure
the
they
Daleks
wouldn't
in
have
that last
stood a
episode.
chance.
I thought they would have leave all that garbage, or sorry, not garbage, because it's not all that baggage behind with this new version of the Doctor.
Did you notice the Master?
I'm gonna say the Master.
Both the Master and the Ronnie.
Exterminate? Is that what
Both the Master and the Ronnie were Indian. So both evil Time Lords, Indian. What are you trying to say there? What's going on, BBC?
They're trying to say. No, I can't say that.
The Daleks were just scared he'd come up with a new use for their eye stalk.
Dude, I could have sworn Sasha Dewan was Pakistani and I had the best partition time war joke for my video and I couldn't use it because he's Indian too. I'm like, God damn it. Well,
he's a good actor. He's a really
he actually is. He would have been a good Doctor.
Yeah.
He would have been a good Doctor. Or the fact that 2 seasons of 8 episodes, 3 of which were Doctor Light, is just a third of what we saw with David Tennant and Matt Smith's Doctor. In short, we deserved more time. No one
deserves it. No one deserves that.
No.
This thing should have been better in a suit, though. Like, if he'd actually worn the suit as his Doctor Who outfit.
But he looks like a man at least.
No, his Barbie,
yeah,
his Barbie looks more butch than him. Okay, that's
like Billie Piper will be the first woman Doctor to have actually had an upgrade.
She's not gonna be.
It is true.
She's not going to be the Doctor. Not even close.
Doctor.
Is Botox an upgrade? I don't know.
Maybe.
Compared to Cutie, yeah.
Many seem to think so.
It's all relative.
But this is not a piece for moaning and mourning. It's just a piece for celebration because while Gatwa certainly deserved more time as a Doctor, he most definitely didn't need it. Oh God, just enough.
Repeat.
Pride Month. Slay Queen. It's Pride Month.
GPT ass shit.
Yeah.
That's enough. I can't take any more of this.
Deserves clout and
Wow.
respect. The quality of journalism when you're using the word clout in it. He deserved all the clout he can get.
Immensely
That's
talented.
our word.
He will be forgotten very quickly. Good luck in Hollywood, kid. Sure, you'll do just fine there. You'll make lots of producers happy. I'm not going to cast him very much.
Well,
I mean, I don't know how many roles you'll
don't
get.
forget your knee pads.
Yep.
And
I'm sure he's built up thick skin by now.
Don't forget to tip your waiter.
We did get some interesting casting for the fucking cursed child, which I hate. But
yeah.
Tom Felton's back.
Turning.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if that's a good career move. Doesn't bode well.
It might be the only career move he's got.
That's true.
I mean, the last time I saw him, he was on the fucking Supergirl show. So
He was on-
or The Flash, not Supergirl. The Flash.
He was in Planet
show.
of the Apes, and he's done a couple other things too.
Which
He
ape
was the only one that didn't come out and trash JK back in the day.
Yep.
so
Really?
he got some
Yeah.
integrity.
Yeah.
Wow.
He also does a lot of the fan events too.
Yeah,
He
seems
comes
like a
across
cool
as a
one.
decent guy, but it might
Yeah.
be his only option if he's,
Yeah, he was in when YouTube was when they were making Cobra Kai, they did a sci-fi series. I can't remember the name of it. He was in that, and when they were trying to make it wasn't good. But I mean, it's great casting. Too bad it's in The Cursed Child, which is fucking terrible.
Abomination story.
Totally. Draco is back. Harry Potter star Tom Felton, who didn't talk shit about JK, to reprise his role on stage. And JK Rowling acknowledged this. She actually acknowledged this.
Yeah, because he didn't talk shit about her.
Well, yeah. Well, it's interesting what she's acknowledged and what she hasn't acknowledged. She's acknowledged the kids, not Black Snape, not anything else about the show, but she acknowledges this. So, I mean, she's paying attention. She can't. I think she's trying to stay as far away from the show as possible. But good for him.
He looks like a priest on that right hand image,
does.
which would be
He
an
kinda
interesting
does,
career
yeah.
path for a wizard, I assume.
Could be.
Be cool if somehow like this like role he's taking on might help him potentially get the role of Lucius in the series. That'd be cool.
That would be really neat. Yeah.
And there's her response right there. Look at that.
Do you believe in Christ?
Ooh.
No.
Avada Cristo.
Hey, did you guys see the 007 game
Oh,
reveal?
Oh.
Yeah, the trailer. Yeah.
This Tom Felton thing.
Sorry. Hang on. What was that, Ryan?
I was pissing. Sorry. The Tom Felton thing. Look, the Cursed Child is a disgusting bastardization. It's an awful piece of shit. However, it's really cool that Tom Felton is doing this.
Yes.
He's going to be on Broadway for like 19 weeks, starting in November. It's cool. Like somebody that actually still does care about it. He's going to be the exact same age that Draco should be during this time period. Like now, I'm 37.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's perfect. That's
They should just adapt the books into a stage play. Do like the first book for like 5 years or something, and then do the next book, and then take it on the road.
Man.
You should just do that instead of this fucking Cursed Child shit.
Yeah. There's a really good parody play with a fun name called Puffs.
He should be fucking Lucius, to be honest. He should be Lucius in the damn series.
Yeah, you couldn't have that one in the UK.
Wait a second.
It's an off Broadway show called Puffs.
Is it
actually
gay
pretty-
slur?
It tells
Listen,
it tells
you
the
can't
story.
tell a girl how you feel.
It tells the story of a Hufflepuff. Puffs,
Oh.
right? And it's his story all the way through. He's an American. It's pretty funny. Anyway,
I like how it's just a given where if you make a parody of Harry Potter, the Hufflepuff is
yeah, you have to be just a puff.
Which is why Fantastic Beasts didn't work very well, because they tried to do it for real.
Hey.
Like, hey, let's take this autistic loser who loves fucking animals. Not fucking animals, but fucking animals. Who knows? Who knows what Newt Scamander was doing in that briefcase? Okay, we
There's
don't
an
know.
important distinction between fucking loves animals and loves fucking animals.
Exactly.
Back to the furry convention.
But yeah, Draco
There's
or
one
Tom
time.
Felton should play
Real
Lucius
animals in there, man.
in the upcoming thing.
But now that you've mentioned that he's going to be on for that long, I don't know if he'll have time to do it. Well, he'll be on stage.
Well, I don't think he actually is. I don't think they're going to recast. I don't think that's happening. He should, but I don't think they will.
Yeah.
And also, Lucius Malfoy does not appear in the first book.
That's a good point.
So they could.
There's time.
So you're saying there's a
Until
chance.
Chamber.
There's time.
You're saying there's a chance.
Don't
But
need
anyways,
until
Az,
Chamber
you
to
felt
secret.
you sounded like you were very perturbed about this James Bond trailer.
Yeah, that James Bond game looks like fucking dog shit that's been
Oh
fucking
my
jizzed
God.
on and then
It's
thrown
so
into
sad.
a pit of dog shit.
Well, I actually like. It doesn't look that. It just looks very bland as a game, but there's nothing about it that screams James Bond to me. With the exception of the exception of the 5 seconds where he's with Q and he's fucking with the gadgets. Like that's the only thing that feels Bondish.
I will say though, IOI is the best company, the best dev team to give a James Bond property to. Like if you've played the Hitman games, it's fucking James Bond. Like it's perfect. So like the idea of it is great. There's there's M, which is annoying, but I think Q looks
Moneypenny.
Q looks like Moneypenny.
Q is the only thing that looks right in the whole trailer.
And I think Bond is like 26 or something.
Yeah, he's not even in a suit though. Like this is the point, like there are things which are
it's
obviously Bond that are
James
part of the
Bond.
universe. I don't care. Put him in a suit. Bond is in a suit. Same thing with gadgets.
He's in a suit sometimes.
The one thing that I think Razorfist pretty much nailed is they really should have set this back in the 60s and have it be a period.
Yeah.
I think Bond. Cool. I think we're at the point where you have to do it with Bond period to make it work.
Yep.
I think you have to do period pieces. Otherwise, the gadgets are not as unique or cool or fun or interesting. If you're set in present day and everything about this obviously is present day, from the racial makeup of everyone involved to the party scene that he's in.
Right.
And James Bond is such a classic character. I think they need to start doing period pieces.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like in the Daniel Craig movies, I think one of the big things was the lack of gadgets and everything.
Yeah,
well, they completely shied away from
gadgets.
And unfortunately, this trailer screams modernity.
Of course. And an origin. And
another origin.
Ryan, you might have said it earlier, but nothing. There's nothing that really says this is Bond at all, other than some music.
It's like Hitman meets Uncharted.
Yeah,
we've already done James Bond Jr.
He even looks like fucking Nathan Drake.
James Bond Jr.
James Bond.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it because I like IOI and I like Hitman. So I think it's. I
love James Bond.
DEI another day.
But yeah, it's like the
DEI
story. I don't know if
another
the story's gonna be good.
You can tell with this. They
3
were
years
like,
later, the joke works again.
He looks too zoomery, like he couldn't do it, so they just gave him a scar to try and make up for it.
Well,
It's like,
James
that
Bond
is-
has a scar
James
in the
Bond
original.
in the books does have a scar.
Yeah, but he was always
totally
more
fine here.
He just looks
it is-
zoomery because
I think
he's
he looks
young.
good.
He looks.
He
fine,
looks like
I
a
think.
young,
Yeah, but he
handsome
looks like a
guy.
modern day young person. Like everyone's commented about how people used to look older back then. And I think James Bond will have been through a lot in his life by this point. He wouldn't be some fresh-faced, modern young person that looks like he's just climbed out of university.
That's why, like Ryan said, it should
Bond
be
looks
time.
perfectly fine
This
in
guy
this trailer.
Yeah, this guy looks older than 26. If you were to ask me, if you to place an age on him,
I love that it would if it was set in like the late 50s, 60s, early 60s, like the Cold War after World War II.
Yes.
You got come on, like that's where it should be.
That's
where
what.
it
Yeah,
lives.
I agree.
It should absolutely be there. The newer stuff is just it's kind of tired. You know, like we've been through the modern Bond. Like let's just try
I want a
something.
departure from kind of modern stuff. I really appreciate period pieces and stuff like that, and I think it'll lend itself well to all the gadgetry and the espionage. It won't be too focused on like digital this, hacking that, algorithm this. It'll be good class, a lot of good analog kind of spy stuff, putting on disguises, having little like ropes and grappling hooks and pins that are actually gas dispensers or whatever. Just goofy gadgets that are fun.
And like, I feel like almost all spy shit in the era of cell phones, like basically post 2000 ish, right? Once cell phones became used by basically everyone at any given time, I feel like it makes it more difficult to
looks good.
write believable spy stories with, if that makes sense.
Is that money?
I think I know what you mean. When everyone has
that's
a
Money
phone,
Penny.
Yeah. She never says her name, but yeah.
Monet Penny.
It's Money
Here's
Penny.
Q.
At least they
Q's
made
perfect.
Q
That's
old
a good
again.
impression.
Yeah.
Q's pretty on point there. But
and
if you played the Hitman, you know that the story's not like the most important part of it. So I'm hoping it'll just be like the couple of cutscenes here and there in between, but it's mostly all gameplay.
Yeah, the gameplay in it does look pretty good though.
I did like that immediately he fucks with a gadget and like almost kills someone because that's
Immediately
Nickel
grabs
Bond
it,
did every time he grabbed one of the
Mhm.
gadgets from Q. Q would always tell him not to fuck with it. Yeah.
What's this? That's my lunch. That's my.
That's my secret agent lunch.
When's it come out?
It-
2026.
6 or 2026.
Yeah, next year.
2026.
It might look like
It's
a roast
Hitman
beef
with-
chicken, but it's actually
with
thousands of
Bond.
calories.
Well, you tell us
We'll
what it's
see
like.
when it's
Gary.
out.
Can you play
yeah.
chess
Yeah.
in the game? That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, minigame.
Did he throw a fucking like spent magazine or something at that guy? I don't know what he threw at him, but right
early.
here.
Oh, right here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in like fucking -5 FPS, so I can't fucking tell, but
Yeah.
That makes it really difficult to dodge.
I was talking about this
if
when
you're
we
going
watched
back in
it.
time.
Who's this Loki motherfucker? I was talking about it when we watched the trailer on Daily, but as many faults as the Daniel Craig movies had, still one of my favorite sequences, maybe in any film, is the not quite opening scene, but the basically opening scene of Casino Royale, which is the parkour chase sequence.
Yes.
Not only is it just cool and it looks awesome and it's filmed fantastic, but when they're up there on the crane and they've been kind of shooting back and forth and the guy runs out of ammo and he just throws his gun at Bond. Bond catches it, throws it back, hits him in the face. I fucking love that sequence.
Well, that earlier in that when he's chasing him and that guy like does the little parkour thing and jumps through the little window and then he just busts through the wall.
Right through the drywall.
Yeah, you're like, oh, okay, there we go.
It's a great scene, dude.
Yeah.
He looks a little too metrosexual for me.
Zuma.
Just to be clear, he is an extremely handsome young man. Just so we're clear.
It looks like looks like
No,
Bond.
it's meant to be English gentleman, not Zuma.
Oh, right.
I don't
I
know why
like
you
a-
think he
I
looks
like
like a
a
zoomer.
little-
He's just a
Fine.
really handsome
Because
guy.
it's modern masculine, not
Yeah,
what
he's
traditional
not
masculine.
rugged
Not
enough to
classic.
be Bond.
He's not rugged enough. You
Yeah.
don't think that's decently rugged enough?
No, I need a
not compared to,
barrel-chested, burly-looking.
You need more hair?
Like,
Hair.
if you actually take a look at the original like sketches of Bond, he looks nothing like him. He was a lot more rugged looking.
Well, he's also like 10 years older and
Older.
Well, yeah, I know, because he's supposed to be in his 30s in Casino.
Looks like he can make
This
a mean latte.
motherfucker needed to be smoking fucking 5 packs a day.
Yeah,
and
it's
rolling
like-
around in the fucking.
I just feel
town,
like
from the time
imagine
he's
going up to
5
this
years
actor
old.
and being like, "You're not handsome enough to be Bond, or you're not rugged enough," and he's
Well,
like,
it's not
"Damn."
There's a difference between handsome and rugged.
He's too manicured.
Sometimes they line up, but yeah,
doesn't wanna
I'm not
look
saying
like
he's not attractive. I
bad.
think he's
No,
a
he's
handsome
supposed to
man,
be-
but
he
he's
probably
not
was.
rugged
He's
like Bond.
He's just-
precious.
Like, no, Timothy Chalamet should not be Bond for all the same
No.
reasons.
Yeah,
Right,
I would
exactly.
agree.
He doesn't
look like
Not-
Timothy
Like,
Chalamet.
because if there's only
Him.
one type of man and
He
one
looks
way to
more
look, it's like,
manly.
no, masculinity is entirely
He
different.
needs to be a bit more Humphrey Bogart type.
And Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll find out when it comes out. Let's go to Soups.
Soups.
Let's
Oh
go to
my goodness.
Soups. Let's go to Soups. Mark. Mark. What the fuck? God, I'm tired. Master Austin has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you. And Mikey Gussler is there with 50. I wonder if he's going to bring up Superman.
Probably.
Good for Mikey. Hollywood Reporter confirmed what we all knew all along, which is Superman's budget is $364 million plus reshoots, making it $400 million, and marketing is $200 million. The film will need to at least make $1.2 billion to break even. It looks terrible.
It's not going to make that.
As I think you're muted. And you've been muted for a good long
Oh
time.
no.
I wondered why my singers weren't landing.
We heard
I had
those.
a whole. I want to play a James Bond game where he levels up by smoking.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
well,
Roger
that's
Morgan.
right.
Every
Yeah.
cigarette you
Was-
take, you get 50 experience points.
Well, in
Yes,
Metal Gear
yes.
Solid, right? If you were gonna pass the time, you'd
Yeah.
smoke the
Or
the
to see
wacky
the-
cigarette.
The tripwires and stuff you could blow. You know.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2, when we have to consume tobacco to get your dead eye up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
then
you're
you
like
get
sitting
TV
there
at
in the
the
middle of a fight, and you're like crouching behind a tree. Like,
Bullets flying.
Yeah. You literally got like 20 ciggies in your.
Yeah, you're that
fucking-
meme where it's all cigarettes.
Yeah.
Captain Puff Puff.
It's like that Olivia Munn one, but it's just cigarettes hitting your face.
Mark Lerzeth for 100. What's up, Mark? What are you doing?
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
You said about us being late. How dare you? 1 minute.
It was 1 minute. We're still late. And you tried to be on time.
I know.
Good for you, Garrett.
Try.
Hey, guys, can I get a shout out for my novel, Dark Sirocco? Up on Amazon. It is about a radical Islamic terrorist group that kidnaps a man. The man talks to God during his captivity to survive.
Ooh.
Dark Sirocco. Check it out from Mark Lerzeth. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, get out there and make some new stuff.
Yeah.
I hope Timothy Chalamet plays God.
Well, that'd be slightly more masculine than all the gods they've casted lately, which are all women.
Yeah.
I talked to God. She's pissed.
Randall Orser has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hail!
Randall also has a book on Amazon.
Now that I'm settled, we can watch Clarkson's Farm.
Hey.
So fucking good. Oh, you know what? Before we even continue, since our last episode, Mobland ended. Holy shit. So
no spoilers.
Oh man. You better plug your ears.
You gotta watch it, man.
It stuck the landing. Episode 10 absolutely stuck the landing.
Yes.
I thought it was so fucking good. And I can't wait to binge it now that it's come out weekly. Thankfully, it came out weekly, which helped its popularity. It's gaining in ratings. It's going to get a season 2. I hope they turn it around quick. There's no reason why they shouldn't, because it's the closest thing to Game of Thrones politically that you're going to see in probably ever. Yeah. Great characterization, great fucking cast, and actually Patty kind of steals the show towards the end.
He does.
Hey.
Yeah,
Patty steals the show at the end, and it's so fucking good. And that ending scene with Conrad is so good.
That was good.
So I was very happy at the end.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when we were talking about it, they were like, I'm going to wait till it all comes out. I don't want to watch a new show and get burnt. The whole thing, all the way through, it's really great. So go watch it. Go binge it. It's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. Well, I can't wait for season 2, man.
I do think it's probably better to watch binge, just because there's so many little minor details that you forget week to week when it's 4 weeks later, and it recalls back to some little hints that you missed at the time.
Yeah, the setup, the payoff, it's so good.
It's got great rewatch value. It does, because there are little things that you miss, and it does keep you guessing. And this season is definitely just setting the pieces, but it's got a kind of a funny ending too.
Yes, it does. You have my attention.
You got my full attention.
Now you have my full attention. Yeah, so good. And I don't know where the rest of the show's gonna go. Like, that's what's so great. Is like leading up, I didn't know where the twists and turns were gonna happen. Thought I knew, totally did not, and I love that. And next season, freaking anybody's
nice,
game.
What's nice about it is that it basically concludes everything for season 1. And if we didn't get season 2, you have a conclusion, but they did enough things to set up season 2, which is fantastic.
Yeah, they've drawn the battle lines and the allies to where it may not even just be 2 groups fighting now. It could be 3, multiple different sides who are all sort of loyal
and fighting within the family, and then the external threat as well.
Full crisis, and it's great. It's great. What'd you think of the finale, Ryan? Did you see it yet?
You seem really loud, Gary.
He's excited to talk about Mobland. He's animated.
Yeah, that peaked there a little bit. Yeah, it was good. I was expecting more of a little more of a build up throughout the finale, but we kind of got the big thing that needed to happen around the halfway point, and then a lot of the rest of it was just like putting in little threads for what's going to happen next and what could happen next. I agree. I think Patty was great in the latter half of the season. I thought his character was excellent. It's interesting because it is. I don't like to say, "Oh, this is like Game of Thrones," but there's an element of it that feels that way in terms of the power structure, in terms of the people that are plotting and trying to betray each other, in terms of these kind of incompetent people or who have become incompetent after a while that are still in power and still very scary that you need to tiptoe around. It was awesome. And I still don't really have a full grasp on who Janet McTeer's character really is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, does she work for the government? Is she a different lord?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know.
They've said in interviews that it may go international.
Yes.
So I think that's where that character comes in.
I think she could definitely be CIA. Like,
CIA, Interpol, maybe.
Yeah, it's something crazy, obviously.
But it's clear that there's no good faction.
No.
Like, not to spoil anything, but there's people that you think are going to be good turn out to be also just in the mob land. They're also a mob. So yeah, there's just like, you can't trust anybody except for Tom Hardy.
I don't think that the top two and like Maeve ever really became incompetent. I think that they were just, she was always pushing him. She always wanted to see who's the bigger fish. And so that works as you're climbing the pole. Like, she will just make him do whatever crazy crap he needs to always beat the next guy. But then when you're at the top, that's where you're supposed to stabilize. And she still always wanted him to be bigger and bigger. And so that's probably where, if they go international, now there are more people that you can fight. That's where that instinct comes in again. And so it won't come across as incompetence or just craziness at that point, hopefully.
And there's a couple characters that you want to see them fucking die. For a show like this to have.
Yeah.
But they can't die.
The big one that you think, I need him to stick around for as long as possible.
Yes.
Because he's so fucking good at being shit.
Yeah.
Such a shit.
So yeah. I loved his character. I thought it was so well done. So well done.
And Conrad's everybody's dad.
Hardy's a hand grenade. And it didn't go through season one.
He's just wound up the whole time. Just okay, good.
So
set that up.
There's gonna come that moment.
Harry's discussion with Eddie that he has in his room. I don't know if that was episode 9 or 10. But when he knocks back on the
9,
door,
I think it was. 9, I think it was.
Bro, that was great.
Intense.
He grabs
when you're right
his knee.
Right at the top.
Push you off.
I'll be right there with you.
Yeah.
I want all of you to watch it so we can just talk about it.
So good.
Yes.
That is so good.
It's my favorite TV show in years.
Yeah. And it's definitely the best show of the year, for sure.
Oh, hands down.
Easily.
By far. Steve O for $49.99.
Steve-O.
Thank you, Steve O. Pretty sure, Gary. Pretty sure it has been recommended before, but watch Mayor of Kingstown. It's the only Taylor Sheridan that's flying well below the radar. Jeremy Renner is excellent in it. Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. Maybe I can now. Steve Watson for 40 British pounds, proper money, says truth, justice, and the American way idea. That we should all be able to get behind. It's an idea we should all be able to get behind. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you always forget he's Clark. He's a Kansas boy.
Yep.
You know, he is literally as American and red, white, and blue as you can get. He's right there in the fucking bread belt. He's a Kansas boy. He's full on. He's been brought up by great parents. This guy is fucking red, white, and blue all over. And that's why the ideals of that spread into Superman and what he does as Superman. And that's why it is truth, justice, and the American way, because it's the country he was brought up in. He had the wonderful parents and he believes in. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. And the sooner people get over that fucking nonsense, the better.
Yep. Agreed.
He's an American superhero. Berg Flicka is gifted. Oh, man. I'm running out of gas.
Gifted.
I hear you, man.
Gifted.
10 Nerdrotic memberships for Fitty. Hail. Dragon Zord 979 for $2 says hail to the fellowship. Gary, book when? Imminent.
Soon.
Very, very soon. I have to do a couple things now that I'm settled, but very, very soon. We officially announced it through Ripasend at the Dallas Fan Expo, which was tons of fun.
The Daleks film.
The Daleks Fan Expo.
Fan Expo. That's right. JB24 for 5 Canadian pesos said, I tried to get the Sweeney soap. As soon as the timer hit 0, they were sold out. As lasts longer than the soap did.
Yep.
How many did they sell?
5,000.
Good Lord.
Anybody who's even checking in on that, I'm judging the fuck out of you.
Yeah, you told on yourself.
Self-report,
You
bro.
told on yourself.
Well,
It's
let's not be hasty.
I mean, to be honest, it'd
Okay.
be good for scalping.
But
if
let
you
me
wanted
as
to
his
make money.
background, it's just
Well,
bars of soap.
See, I've got all 5,000. Judge, lest thee be judged.
Oh, we're judging, buddy. We're judging.
I'm gonna fucking gargle with it. Oh.
Where was I? I was just going to do something. And then as DMing me go
Yeah?
with a link to fucking Sideshow, dude, during the show. It's like, motherfucker, I'm
What
working
now?
here.
Shopping.
What
He's
now?
making you shop.
He's fucking shopping. He's making me shop.
But the question is it a Black Panther sideshow that you're going to be putting a?
What- yes,
Ryan
No,
Gosling
what is it?
head
no, I have a Black Panther 1/6 scale.
Yeah.
And I can get the Ryan Gosling Blade Runner fucking
Yeah.
aftermarket one. I will make a fucking white Black Panther. 100%. Gonna do it. Gonna do it.
Wamper.
I'm gonna do it. But
I'm gonna say the N-word.
you can, but don't.
This
No,
is how
I was
he finally
no.
gets into Warhammer. He just starts painting the Black Panther figures.
God dang it, Warhammer. Everything about Warhammer sounds cool. And then yesterday, it was a stream. It was yesterday or day before. They're like, yeah, the prologue is like 6 books long or something like that. It's like, what the
Oh, yeah.
fuck? No
If you ever
human can
Google-
get into that.
If
Well,
you
they're
ever
gonna warm
Google the
you
books,
up.
it's just
Yeah,
tons
yeah.
of series.
Yeah.
You just pick the one
Sounds
that
great.
looks the coolest.
I was gonna look on eBay for Sydney Sweeney soap and see if it's there yet.
Oh,
Probably.
that's a good idea. Let me see. Just for funsies.
Sorry, Gary. I'll hook you up, mate.
Close,
I've got
closest
a
thing.
Okay, guys. First thing that comes up, $500.
Oh,
I just
Now you know the
can't
reason why
believe
people are
it.
buying this shit. To
all
sell
right,
on
all
eBay.
right.
Oh wow, yeah. £78.
I am.
Speculation on this.
You were smart to get it. Never mind. I am an idiot.
You're loud again.
Sydney Sweeney bathwater is the
How
closest
can I be
thing that
loud
we're
again?
ever gonna get.
Yeah,
to-
just
It's gone
It's-
back down
it's-
now.
Gary,
StreamYard's
Gary,
man.
Gary, you need to sort your audio out, mate.
Fuck off.
I'm turning you down.
I'm on a laptop right now. Okay, and it's still better than yours.
Oh yeah, no,
I have a
it's not, mate.
soundboard.
No, it's
Is
not,
that
mate.
better?
No.
Fucking StreamYard sucks ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ryan Gosling, 1/6
Okay, you
scale
still
head,
need a-
$35.
As a professional streamer, you still need a fucking soundboard wherever you
Did you
fucking
get
go.
one?
Oh yeah, we
I
like
put-
this. Yeah, the soundboard's really good.
I am
I put-
waiting for a delivery.
I put
Alright.
the soap to sold listings, and they've sold for £221.
Good
Damn.
Lord. Who's buying that?
Wow.
Damn. As is Wonky Eyebrow for £2 British. Hey, Gary is on time, but once a year. Hail. That's true. And since I technically wasn't on time today, I still got one in me. You never know. Blood Viper for 20 British pounds, proper money. Just wanted to thank you guys and gals for helping me laugh after I got news my mom only has a few days. Oh no.
Sorry to hear that.
She got late stage lung cancer. Fuck cancer. Only found out 3
man.
days ago. Oh, prayers, man.
Shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Hail the fellowship of the 199. Yep. Everybody.
count, man.
Oh God. Enjoy the time. Enjoy the time, my brother. Asmongold will moderate. Hang on. Sorry, I had that cut off. Their reunion and therapy. Oh, it must be talking about iDubbbz. I'm guessing. Maybe.
I don't
As-
know.
Asmongold isn't related to iDubbbz in any way. Isn't it?
No.
Fuck if who would he moderate?
It's been him and Hassan has been the drama recently.
That's all I see on Twitter. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think Asmongold want to moderate anything. He kind of sounds like he wants to do his own thing. Good for him too. But Professor Tyrone Snape for $1.99. Sadie Sink would have been a great cast for Ellie. There you go. Marco for €10 says Ragzusan, Twitch downfall, Hassan versus Ethan. iCuck Supercut EFAP react when?
I don't know, man. The iDubbbz and the Ethan stuff, it's all a big tangled web of politics and drama. And I've been enjoying listening to like Nicholas DeOrio and Chud Logic and stuff talking about it, covering it. It's been amusing, but I don't know if it's not really an EFAP thing. Not really a lot of crossover we have with them there. I would not hold my breath on that one, funny as it would be.
You did a lot of Hassan stuff, but that was like specifically because
it was
Mahler was
the
involved.
React drama, and Jay and all that.
There's the Boogie stuff we did as well, which was quite funny.
Yeah,
that was fun stuff.
Don't Be Hasty for $10 says, I thought Doctor Who couldn't get more desperate than bringing back David Tennant, but I clearly underestimated them. Yes, you did. Seeing that Billy Piper reveal makes me glad I got out before Jodie Whittaker. And again, it was just Russell being cheeky. He's putting a signature on his own fucking work, and to keep people questioning and speculating so they just don't say canceled, which it won't be. It'll be paused for 30 years.
And the Doctor Who leaker, which basically predicted the series, a lot of it, said they filmed it like a couple of months to a few weeks before it was even shown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
I think it was probably done about the same time she came to film the 20th anniversary show with Tennant. They just... Can you stand in front of this green screen for us?
Yes, because every time...
Oh, hello.
Every time they've had a new doctor in modern era, every time they've had a new doctor, they've had showrunners in place, things ready to go. So the transition could go smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, theoretically. Okay. None of that went smoothly lately.
I just wanted to get cancelled so I can have my video title of Doctor Who 41% itself. Got it.
I would be I would be shocked if they said it was canceled. If they came out and said it was canceled.
There was a great, I think it was Mail Online or something came out with the best title, and it was like, woke Doctor Who trans character exterminates fans.
Yes!
Oh yeah, I'm feeling exterminated.
Winner.
Not that I'm a fan.
Cash Acoust for $2 says for the As Soundboard Fund.
Ooh.
Wrong show, mate.
Yeah.
God damn it.
As can afford his own fucking soundboard. Mr. Sinister for $4.99. Hail Rags. Hearing you talk about it, hearing you talk about the original Lilo and Stitch on EFAP was excellent. Thank you all for being authentic.
Oh, thanks. I'm really glad you liked it. That turned into quite a bit of that was for those who don't know, we covered EFAP the other week we covered Lilo and Stitch on EFAP the other week, and it was a 12-hour stream. There was a lot to talk about. It's my least favorite of the remakes so far. I have a particular hatred in my heart for the Lilo and Stitch remake and what they removed and what they changed. So if you wanna hate on it and learn about it, we go through the remake, and we kind of use that as a blueprint to also talk about why the original is so good and underrated.
Well, I've never seen it.
It's very good. I'd highly recommend
a good movie.
it.
The first one, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's very good. It's I haven't seen it in a while, so when I rewatched it, it really hit in a different way. And I like I said, even as positive as its reputation is, I still think that it is underrated in terms of how good it is. So if you haven't seen it, please do check it out. It's very good. Do not watch the remake. It is awful. It is nothing of value. Avoid at all costs.
I'm gonna watch the remake.
Don't, damn you. You fool.
A follow-up to that, Imperial Fist Stand for $10 says, Hail FNT, just wanted to say the latest EFAP was great. Also love that Rags was open to the conversation about cartoon to live action and suspension of disbelief. Agreed with you, Rags, but good. Agreed with you, Rags, but good to see.
Oh, I think I remember you. Yeah, the in the chat. Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I think so. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to when you change from 3D to 2D and what that means you're trying to get away with, and what that does to suspension of disbelief and all that stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting conversation.
Another
Unfortunately, yeah. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead.
I was just said there's another one coming up next week. How to Train Your Dragon live action comes next
That's right.
week.
Yeah.
What's the projection for that one?
I have no idea.
It'll probably do gangbusters. It'll probably make a shit ton of money.
I don't think it'll be like $1 billion like that, but
no, it'll be a lot.
The first like announcement little sneak that they had, I said I think it's going to do well, and a lot of that's because it does seem like they're trying very much to just retell the same story. Hopefully that's what they do, because How to Train Your Dragon is an excellent movie. And if they stick, I like that they didn't try to make the fucking dragons look, real life dragons. No, make them look like everybody knows them and loves them, so you can see Toothless's expressions and like all that shit.
Looks like Screen Rant
on hair, but
looks like Screen Rant has it as 100 million opening domestic.
Damn.
And a possible 55 million worldwide.
Well, it's already open worldwide in a couple places, so I don't know if it's a
this is a few days ago.
Staggered release thing.
Jay for $20 says, "Hey Chrissy, how was your visit to the Beanie Bunker? Did you see the Beanie Baby?"
Well, she's
Chrissy's,
gone.
she's gone.
Yeah,
So
she's
is
gone.
Odin. They're both fucking gone at the same time.
Squeeze me.
We don't know. Angela Lopez for $10. "Hey guys, happy Opposite Equity Day. We got Black Tupac Snape and the White Panther. The woke mob told us for over 5 years it doesn't matter. Oh, now it is a problem. Oh well. Hashtag cry me a fucking river."
Yeah.
That's right. That's
I
right.
can't say that I sympathize.
Yeah.
Mechanism Studios for $2. "Should Ray Park sign a Star Wars or a G.I. Joe comic?" Star Wars, probably. I mean, he was great as Snake Eyes, but Star Wars. If you're asking, you want an honest answer. Jack Burton for $10. Now I don't know about the rest of you, but Gary, you're a gamer, right? Yes, of course.
Gary's a gamer.
Can you comment on the Bionicle Mask of Power situation? Hashtag restore the Mask of Power. Wasn't
Gary.
Bionicle, isn't it a toy?
How do you feel about the
Lego,
Mask of
yeah.
Power
Oh, it's not just a toy, sir. It's much more than that. Okay, it's a world.
Like a
Bionicle
fucking
comics that I never read. Yes, they should absolutely restore it. It's a travesty that it's not restored. It's a crime against imagination.
So let it be written.
So let it be done. Mark Skywanker for $9.99.
Nice.
Mark.
The Fanspastic Four will be horrendous. Pepsi is no Reed Richards. Just saying.
I mean, true.
Is that
Okay.
Is that an autocorrect
Going
from
over
like
my head?
Pascal
I think it's an
or
autocorrect.
Pedro?
But yeah, I'm
always
so
supposed to be
sorry.
Pedro.
Pedro?
I mean, in my head canon, this is not an autocorrect, okay?
Yeah.
Pepsi.
I like Pepsi better.
Pepsi
Reed
Pascal.
Richards says
Pedro.
Pepsi is no Reed Richards. Like, thanks. Thanks, X-Ray
Not
Girl.
as sick and tired of Pepsi as I am of fucking Pedro Pascal. So
Thoughts on Predator Killers of Killers? I'm going 6 out of 10. PS2 FX, the Ron for 2 British pounds. I saw the first 5 minutes of the first episode and noped out. Once I saw Girl Boss Viking Bitch, I was done. So comics said the second part is better.
Yeah,
But-
I saw the first 2 vignettes, and the first one, much like Gary, I was like, yeah, it basically girl bossed all over itself. The second one I thought was really good. Takes place in feudal Japan, about 2 brothers. It was well done.
So I'll probably go back and watch the second one. But yeah, I noped out. I was watching it before FNT started, and I'm like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, I almost stopped.
Yeah. Griff Nizzle for $10. Hail Rags, your breakdown of the missing ugly duckling scene and its implications to Lilo and Stitch nearly brought a tear to my eye. I said nearly.
Oh, wow.
Why you
Ha-ha.
make me gay?
Well, I can't help it.
There's a gift.
Here's the thing, there's actually nothing I can do about it. So I wish I could help, but I just can't. It's out of my hands.
It's a gift.
But I'm glad that you liked it. Thank you.
Alex Belfour for $4.99 says, "Hey Gary, will there be a Wisconsin meetup this summer or fall? I'm in the Fox Valley in Wisconsin. I don't know. It won't be this month, but I will be at Cosmic Summit. If you are in Greensboro and you're there, we will be there all weekend. That's in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So excited.
Right before the premiere of another thing that's going to save Marvel, Ironheart.
I'm
Ironheart
so
premieres in 3 weeks, everybody. I hope you have it marked on your calendar.
Get ready.
Took the whole week off to prepare, to ready my soul.
Is it a 3-episode opener?
I think so. And listen, you have to read about 6 or 7 comics to prepare. They've all been canceled.
Too much.
Take inspiration from her and steal them.
Dude,
when
I was at the
I'll watch Wakanda forever.
When I was at the comic book store today, they had a brand new Ironheart series start. Is issue 1.
The first of many.
Still any?
Oh, well, many issues. I'm going to give it till issue 2.
That was
all
always
the
issue.
If that got cancelled before the show started.
So how thick were the stacks?
It might. It could. It could very well be canceled before the show ends. For sure. It'll sell 5s and 10s of copies, Disparu.
Oh, yeah.
5s and 10s.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
Releasing a tie-in that gets cancelled before the show.
That's hilarious. It's happened. Arcade Galactic remember the tie-ins for Rebel Moon?
Oh
yeah. There were like
he was going to have video games and everything.
But then everyone's like, oh, right. This is Rebel Moon. This is Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. I don't know what we were thinking.
This is Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon James Gunn.
It's the only guy where you can't turn the motion blur off.
Remember when
even like the Rebel Moon board game has motion blur on it? Like, how did he do it?
Remember when Brian Visaggio did a comic book? I think it was for Rebel Moon. It was the origin of Nemesis.
Oh, the sword lady.
Well, remember when they did, what was it, Kim and Kim? And they sold, was it 247 copies?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
By the way, Saints and Sinners approaching 7,500 issues. So
Link in the description.
Link in the description. Arcade
Also,
Galactic.
Az is sent.
What was that?
Enjoy the scent of
I
ass.
love it.
Essence of ass.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Looking forward to the candle.
Not pheromones, but fat moans.
It smells like my vagina.
Going for the low cut shirt, I see.
If they sell 10,001 book, that will unlock.
Yeah, I
will
want the
unlock
V-necky, the V-necky thing to try and get that gay male audience in.
Yeah.
Arcade Galactic 420 said, "Hail FNTers! If any of you are in northern Utah, West Valley City, pay us a visit. We've got video games, old and new, pinball, and some rare stuff that's harder to find than a fiscally responsible politician." Arcade, there you go.
Topical, everyone. Topical.
There you go. Well done. I might go up there. I'm not going to catch it this year, but they do like a UFO con near Skinwalker in Utah. I definitely want to go because all the Skinwalker Ranch people go there.
Ooh.
Yeah, Travis
If you know
Taylor.
what a UFO is, and it lands, it's just no.
Woo. Who's that pretty lady?
There you go.
that lady?
Who's that lady?
She's a nice lady.
Chrissy, somebody asked how was the Tim Pool visit? Did you get to see the Beanie Baby?
It was. I didn't see the Beanie Baby, but I brought her a gift. So I hope it got to her.
Just call him Tim like everyone else.
The Beanie Baby. No, the baby. He has a baby.
Oh.
You did a podcast with Lore Lodge. I love those guys.
Tim Pool has a
Yes.
child?
A baby girl.
Oh, okay.
He got married and had a kid.
Yeah. And there were a couple of nerds on the old we did Pop Culture Crisis with this guy, I think Odin, also known as Lore Lodge. And he looks like Harry Potter, so I let him know that. And he had heard it before.
Fan Y for 50 Swedish krona. Disney Who is a joke. They are just nostalgia baiting every episode that comes out, and it didn't work, by the way. Also, if the color teal is a darker blue, then it is not teal. Oh, that was because that's how they know something was different about the world. Like teal was a darker blue.
Yeah, I mean, they had changed gravity to Mavity, but we forgot about that. So,
They did bring up Mavity gravity in the interstellar song contest, though.
Oh, yeah, well, it was repeated all the way through the series. So you could have had, well, they were setting up all these things where the time was a mistake and you were in an incorrect timeline that they fixed. So Isaac Newton could go back to being white again. And they could have
need Mavity to sort that one out.
they could have tied up all the loose threads, and they forgot. The TARDIS exploded in one episode, and they forgot.
They forgot Susan, dude.
Cutie forgot that the love of his life was in a hell dimension.
Yeah,
so he topped himself to save an imaginary baby and not the love of his life.
He forgot his boyfriend in hell, and they set up Susan, the return of Susan Foreman, the granddaughter that was in the premiere episode of Doctor Who.
She was supposed to be in the original ending. So they were all going to have a dance party, and she was going to be looking on from the sidelines. And then they cut her. Like, complete lack of disrespect of the original series.
They brought back fucking Susan Foreman and forgot her in the finale. Fuck them. God dang it.
I also think they changed Conrad's story because it went out, I want you to have a nice life. And then they showed him destroying it and saying that, well, that's for the best.
Eric K for $5 says, Shad is held up in his castle today. The emus, not emos, attack.
Well, I mean,
emus.
They would lose to emos too.
Emos riding emus.
Yes.
Open the door, dude.
Emus.
I said that, Gary.
I wasn't paying attention.
Checks out.
Checks out. Oh, that's gonna get me. Rory the Right for 10 British pounds. Total Recall. Sharon Stone versus Arnie is a great man versus woman fight. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Consider this a divorce.
Great line.
Nut 716 for $5 says, Hail to you, Jack Burton. The check is in the mail. Have you paid your dues? Check is in the mail. For $10 says, notably for the Bionicle fan base, who has seen little to nothing official in 10 years, and you should be thankful for it, by the way.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be thankful.
Yes.
That's nice.
With 8 years of developing within Lego's fair play guidelines, with 4 years with blessings from Lego. Just wait another 20 years and no, it's probably not going to be.
Let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah. Joy, how do you say this last name, X-Ray Girl?
Metke?
Medj?
I'm not sure who it's for.
Those who
The
dare.
name's Diana, Princess of Themyscira.
For $5 says, going to see Dogma 25th anniversary this weekend. Super excited.
I like it. I like Dogma.
You like Dogma?
I like
Good
Dogma.
movie. I like it.
That was all right.
Kevin Smith's a bellend, but I like Dogma.
Yeah.
My
Once upon a
favorite
time,
by
he
him
did
is,
portray it.
dude, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
It's
was
fucking great.
fucking great. That was,
Good film.
especially the end. Makes a lot of sense when they go and
Especially
kick the
to make Mark
shit.
Hamill look like a fucking idiot.
Keep the shit out of the kids.
Well, and they beat the shit out of the kids who talk shit about him on the internet at the end. That's funny. Larry Escher for $5 says, Gary, I saw you and X-Ray Girl both got your logo tattooed on your forearms after Peru. Anyone else in the gang follow suit? Yeah.
Gary.
I done on my sphincter.
What?
Oh God.
Your bleach sphincter.
So I can wink.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you want
Is
to.
the
Ever seen a pair of
nose
glasses
part-
wink?
He's just preparing.
I was gonna say, is the nose
Just
part
preparing the
on
canvas.
sphincter?
Just that.
Well,
Or
that
is
sounds
one
like
of
a
the eyes
personal
the
question.
That's an asshole you won't forget.
That was X-Ray Girl's idea.
Whoa. I never forget
That was
an asshole.
Perry. He started it all.
Was it Perry? Well, yeah, he did.
Dirty Perry.
Yeah.
Perry's busy
Love
right
Perry.
now.
Like, as long as it's not Gary's, it's okay. Because otherwise, it's very much, I
No,
want
it
to
is
brand you.
Definitely Gary. He says like, you guys either need to
That
get
was
these
the whole
tattoos
point
or
of
no.
mentioning that.
Gary
Not
human
My
trafficked his employees.
idea. Well, you know, you got to brand your.
What? You got to brand your co-host.
What's the
Blood
Blood
Brothers.
Brothers? Just get a tattoo. Pretend it's a tattoo.
It's cheaper this way.
I just thought it. Clark's Farm doesn't brand their cattle.
That's
Probably
true.
not a lot-
You don't brand over there, do
Probably
you?
not a lot of cattle rustling going on in the English countryside.
Probably not.
Well, There has been a lot of animals just randomly going missing and ending up in takeaways.
That's because
That has started.
over here, we have to lock our cattle at night because of that problem. So
Yeah.
Well, they're
Why,
going around.
you guys
They're
have
going
sex
around
with them?
branding people. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Locking them up in
You don't
fields.
know, Ez. You're not from here.
It's very
Well,
scary,
it's-
I
okay?
do not know your
Eat this
way.
hay, see how you like it.
It's just so everybody knows they are my DEI hires, okay, and nobody else. Nobody gets credit for that.
They've been marked. I mean, clearly they belong to you now.
Yeah. Razorhead has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. Friday Night Whites. We still have to do that.
Wow.
We still need to do Friday Night Whites for $1.99. We agree Warfare is the best cinema of 25 so far. I've heard
it's very good.
Yeah.
Heard it's really good. Yeah.
And honestly, that's not saying much. Like, what is the? I haven't seen Warfare yet, and it probably is. But what is the best movie anybody has seen this year in the theater?
This year.
Mm.
Oh, in
Captain
theaters?
America.
Oh fuck! Oh, I can't believe it, but that might actually be correct.
The best
Warfare might
movie
be
I've
better.
seen this year in theaters is probably Mission Impossible.
I was thinking this. This is why I'm just checking to see the release movies this year.
We've seen a lot of shit. Like the stuff we've watched is a lot
But
of
yeah,
shit.
I'm thinking at the minute it is Mission Impossible.
Yeah, there's probably some indie films out there. That Sinners. is
I really
probably-
enjoyed
Sinners
Sinners.
was good.
Yeah.
I would still need to see Final Destination. I heard that was good.
I heard
was
that's good.
fun.
Oh,
That was
yeah, I
fun.
forgot about that one. I
Yeah,
like that,
yeah. It was better than I expected it to be. I went in expecting it to be dog shit, but fun, because it's Final Destination. But it was
Yeah.
actually a much better story, and it was also Final Destination fun.
Are we allowed to say G20?
That wasn't
That
even
wasn't-
allowed.
It's not theaters,
Theaters, you bastard.
but that was the most fun I had watching a movie this year for
was
sure.
fun.
That's what I hear
Mm.
from everybody. That
There's
it
a lot of
was
laughs.
very entertaining.
Oh god.
yeah.
I think Muller said to me, "Do not watch it. We're gonna do an EFAP movies on it sometime, so don't watch it."
No, you
We have to
need
get
to.
Definitely worth
raw
an EFAP.
reaction.
Definitely.
yeah,
A lot of laughing.
Bro, the G20 summit being in South Africa
actually-
and this year of all years is
Mine,
fucking hilarious.
Mine is Companion. It's Companion.
Okay.
Companion. Okay.
Heard, yeah,
All right.
heard good things.
Well, for me, Better Man. Better Man is the best movie I've seen this year.
Wait, is that one with that stupid fucking monkey
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
about that British star that only
Pop
British
star.
people know about?
Oh,
Yep.
Robbie
I knew
Williams.
I knew
And he
nothing
was
about
famous here like 20 years ago. So
yeah, I
even
knew
we're like, why are
nothing
you
about
doing
him.
this?
I knew he sang one fucking song, and I went to see it to like roast it. Like Chris is like, you got to see it. I'm like, all right, dude, I'll go see it. So me and the wife went on a date night, and I ended up fucking loving it.
Well, the thing, he had quite a
Did
few
do
hits,
Revenge of
but
the
he,
Sith this year in theaters, but I don't think that counts
Hey.
as a new
Yeah.
release,
Yeah.
like his most well-known song was Millennium. So
Millennium.
That
And they
shows the
They didn't play it in the movie.
which has the which has Mountains and Sunsets, which is the Bond theme as its backing.
It's a good movie about recovery, man. It's great. About fighting your
I
demons.
literally have not heard shit about him for like 15 years.
No.
I
That's
saw
not
Jurassic
really
Park in a
expensive movie.
theater this year.
What was that?
I saw Jurassic Park. I guess it wasn't a theater. It was in front of like a live orchestra, but we were all sitting
That's-
in
Yo,
That counts.
that would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
as
That'd be
fuck.
awesome.
So, yeah.
Man.
That's
if I can
probably
get
the
that
best
with Lord of
movie
the
I've seen.
Rings, I can die happy.
Ooh.
But the fact that we're sitting here in June and we're like struggling, we're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's all right. July's round the corner, boys.
Yep.
White History
I
Month.
watched Havoc, but that was on Netflix. It's not at the theater.
That's
but it was
on
fun.
Netflix.
It was
That was
fun.
I
What
saw.
was weird, I don't know if anyone else did a Ballerina. I saw there was a new 28 Years Later trailer that I haven't seen released. It had a lot
Yes.
more of the actual footage from the movie in it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Imagine
So-
that in a trailer.
Well, it hasn't done it so far. It's shown like very few second brief glimpses of stuff.
I'm looking forward to that though.
I am too.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what. By the end of the year, I'm thinking that or Nobody too. I want to be one of those.
That looks fun
those
as
movies
well.
of the year.
Yeah,
I want
Nobody
to see the
too.
new
Do
Megan
check out
movie.
Companion though. Companion is a very fun film.
Mathregan 2.0.
Mathregan, yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch that. The first one was disappointing. It wasn't as
First one sucked.
yeah, like it
liked it.
wasn't as violent as it should have been. You know what I mean?
I went into that expecting I imagine the story is going to be stupid or whatever, but at least I'm going to see this robot fucking murder a bunch of people. That's what I was excited about. And then I felt like there was very little murdering that happened, and the murders that did happen weren't nearly as graphic as they could have been.
It was more like head games and scary undertones.
Women.
Yeah, women. Yub Nub You Long Time for $10.
Oh, and
First
a yuck
time-
up to you too.
Whoops.
Oh,
Where is it?
Oh,
There we go. There
New
we go.
soundboard.
First time chatter. Don't be gentle. Oh no, it's my traveling soundboard comics because I kind of do this for a living. So I have two soundboards. I have one I travel with and one at home.
That's
I
that's a smart
saved
thing to
up
do.
my
Match the
pennies.
colours.
I was able to write it off, as a business
True.
expense. So I got my
really good.
second
Yeah.
soundboard to travel with.
Yeah. The Wave XLR, they're pretty small and compact and only cost about $150, man.
Yeah.
So
And they fit in your
they
suitcase.
fit in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
You have the Roadcaster Streamer X.
Dude,
Just-
I've taken it to Peru. I've taken it to the UK.
True,
It can
yeah.
handle all
All
that
over the
stuff.
world.
Yeah, totally pays
Get them on
for it.
eBay where you're shopping.
it's so worth having that soundboard with you.
It really is worth having a soundboard with you.
Go fuck yourself.
That's what I was waiting for, Az.
Oh my
I want to
god!
know
how
the
do I-
exact moment he realized we were talking about him. I think it's just
Well,
staring
when he-
at
when he
us.
finished- when he finished buying
Shopping.
something off of sideshow.com, which dude, I'm pulling the trigger on since the show's over.
Nice,
Uh,
Oh,
I
I
ain't
don't think
saying
you finished reading the last one.
I haven't.
No.
First time chatter. That's all I got. But don't be gentle. We won't be. We're gonna go in dry and hard. Disney slapped John Williams in the face with what? And I heard no coverage. The full OG Star Wars albums can't be streamed. They replaced them with best up. What?
I
Well,
don't know if that's
physical
listen,
media.
I'll be real. I don't know if that's a Disney thing. Every time I play Star Wars music, I get claimed by John fucking Williams. So I don't
He's
know.
He's on the internet all the time. He's
That's why you
watching.
go out and buy physical media.
Yes.
There are special editions of the Superman soundtrack, of the Jaws soundtrack, of the Raiders of the Lost Ark soundtrack, the entire Indiana Jones thing. There is a great special edition of the Star Wars soundtrack from the early 90s that's in a great box set with like the OG poster on it that has a bunch of tracks that were never included in the original especially Return of the Jedi. The duel is the final duel is not in there at all, and that's like some of the best music. So physical media, get it get it on eBay. But yeah, fuck streaming.
Look at the tits on that.
Have you seen
That's
one
how you
of
make
her?
a poster.
Oh, Superman's gonna make $1 billion.
Like they hid them so well.
Rachel Brosnahan's got some pretty nice tits.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Um,
does.
There's
her
another.
red carpet stuff. Gee,
Yeah.
I have it
10
up
out
if
of
you
10.
want
10 out of
Like-
10.
my goodness.
That should be
Mhm.
marketing. I'm sorry.
Yes.
The boob
Well, I
window's
think,
back. Our girl.
God, don't you see her tits in is it
Go to Mr. Skin.
House of Cards?
No, it's not House of Cards. It's
Is it Ozark?
some show?
Wait, she's not an Ozark.
It's a film, I think.
Hold on.
Oh,
She
they
does-
say
doesn't
Marvelous
she go-
Mrs. Maisel.
real-
Yeah.
quiet.
She go completely naked, like full frontal and everything. in
Marvelous Mrs. Milkers.
Hey.
Indeed.
That's my favorite film.
Well, whatever.
She played a fucking hooker in House of Cards. She was hot.
She's hot. She's a good Lois.
Mm-hmm.
Cage Grosskreutz.
Gage
Oh my God, just give it up
Grosskreutz,
now.
I think.
Gage Grosskreutz, the guy who got his
Kreutz.
bicep shot off by Kyle
Yeah.
Rittenhouse.
Ah.
Oh. Just
So
say
his name is probably Gage
pedo
Grosskreutz missing bicep.
with a missing bicep. There
Well,
you
he
go.
wasn't a pet.
Oh.
He
That
wasn't.
wrong guy, different guy
Yeah.
that he shot.
So commie with a missing bicep.
Yes.
Is
Wasn't
that
he-
accurate?
wasn't he
For
a-
accuracy.
Wasn't he a thief? Actually, wasn't he a thief?
Possibly, allegedly, in Minecraft.
How did Ryan miss this opportunity to wear the Black Panther costume but without the mask? And hi, Rags.
Hello.
Bro, that shit's tight, dude. I don't like wearing that.
Yeah, like tight.
Yeah, those
tight
costumes
on your
can be,
balls.
they're a little restricting in certain places. Yeah, they are. Ray Gonzalez for $5 says, I'm so glad to finally feel represented in Wakanda. It's great that they're finally diversifying.
For diversity is our strength. That's true. I'm convinced now.
Ray, I don't mean to profile you, brother, but Gonzalez. So you were represented in Wakanda forever. When Namor and his Latin people were trying to invade a country by illegally
Under the water. You
Under
couldn't
the
tell.
water.
Yeah.
They have to dry him out.
Didn't
Yes,
count.
because their backs were quite
Drenched. They were
yes.
very drenched.
Literally defeated by drying out his wet back.
I know, dude. When you say the shit out loud, it's fucking ridiculous.
Like after
A
they
bunch of-
tried
a
to
bunch of
illegally
youth
enter the
play.
country.
Someone honestly thought, hey, this is a good idea.
This is a good idea. Let's have all the Latinos invade the isolationist ethno state for resources.
And we need one more
Via the
hero.
water.
Pick the little black chick. And
Yeah.
and give her fucking cornrows in her Iron Man outfit.
Dude, I was on Hodge Toys. I had to describe how they lower the force field. And like, it's got to be seen to believe. In Wakanda Forever, they lower the force field with 2 DJs.
That's right.
They do. That happened. It was like
Yeah.
it was like drum DJs.
It was like drum DJs, and they were using water, but it was definitely DJs because some executive at Disney goes, urban people really like the hip hop, and we should have them lower the force field with fucking turntables, watery turntables, for real,
Yeah.
for real.
For real.
Oh, we can pluck so many clips out of the
We can fuck what?
pluck so many clips,
Pluck like a chicken.
pluck. I don't know what you're fucking. buddy.
Whatever you
But,
heard, mate. Whatever you heard.
Whatever you heard, get the dick out of your ear.
Chicken. It sounds
We
like.
can pluck so many clips that are just
Get it, get
so unintentionally fucking racist. It's fucking great out of Marvel films. On the bright side, at least Wakanda's credit score is going up, says Ray Gonzalez for $5.
Damn.
Hey, it is, and apparently so is Captain African Americans. Maybe they're connected. Maybe they loaned him some money because apparently he got a few bucks to make an Avengers Tower. Mark Daly for $20 says, thank you for your pro-American speech. I wish more of my countrymen saw things the way you do, where it in my power, I would grant you honorary American citizenship. Nope. Next time in Florida, best shrimp on me, mate. No, I vote against that.
In Florida? No,
Live
come to New Orleans for some good shrimp.
He's like overturning Independence Day
Barbecue.
one person at a time.
Some
You come here to Texas for barbecue.
Oh my god.
I almost made a joke about this earlier.
And then you realize
Imagine
it
the
wasn't
money.
a joke. It was
Yeah.
what you wanted.
Ooh.
And that Mark must have taken that picture somehow.
They
I was
they
going
would
to
have.
joke about this
Extra
earlier,
girl,
but
do
then
you
I
ever
realized-
see just pictures of random Asian people as you're scrolling by and think for a second it's you?
Not very often, but there's one Twitter account where sometimes it does look like me in like video clips, but
Oh no.
not typically.
Look, there's a
One?
lot of
I
Asians.
think there's
Some
like
of
2
them
billion.
look alike. It's not racist.
Oh.
One. Having initiative for $20 says everyone should check out Crafts with Honey's deep dive into Pedro Pascal's father. Then ask why Hollywood doesn't ask him about much. What I know,
There's some weird shit about
Yeah.
his dad I've heard out there, but I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
know
they
if
had
it's
the-
confirmed or not. So yeah.
they had to flee their country.
Chili.
Why? Were the films that bad there as well?
No, they were communist supporters, and the dictator in Chile. Neither side was good. They had to flee the dictator. The dictator. Flee the dick. Robo 90
Oh, like
'Cause they were
like a
commies.
dictator. Yeah.
Robo 96 for 10 British pounds, proper money. Seeming as you and Az brought it up earlier, what are your favorite Columbo episodes? Mine are the ones with Robert Vaughn on the cruise liner, and the one where the police commissioner as the bad guy. There's more than one of those.
Oh, the police commissioner is a bad guy. That's a phenomenal one. I like the one with there's Roddy McDowell. I love that. Donald Pleasance.
Yeah,
the Vineyard one with Donald Pleasance is
Dude.
fantastic. Johnny Cash.
The guest stars in that show were unbelievable.
Yeah. The Johnny Cash one is fantastic.
Dude, my
I like
dad
the
loved
Magoon
that
ones.
show.
The Patrick Magoon ones are always good.
I love that episode where you think he's gonna walk away, but then he goes, one
Just
more
one
thing."
more thing.
That's
my
every
favorite.
episode.
That's my favorite episode.
Gets me every time.
Yeah, the police commissioner one is
I thought he was
fantastic.
gonna walk away.
Peter Falk was great. You ever see The Cheap Detective? It's a great movie with Peter Falk, The Cheap Detective.
Oh.
It's good stuff.
Clue's great.
So just to follow up on Pedro Pascal's dad, I wanted to make sure I got it right because I have seen this stuff out there. Yes, they did have to flee Chile originally, and they went to like Norway or Denmark before eventually like coming to the United States after getting asylum. However, Pedro Pascal's father had to flee back to Chile in 1995 because he got in trouble. He was indicted by a federal grand jury. So he was a doctor, and it was in like fertility clinics and stuff. He was indicted by a federal grand jury in 1995 due to a scandal at the fertility clinic he was employed at, involving accusations of stealing patients' eggs and embryos and implanting them in other women without their knowledge or
Oh my god.
What?
What?
Oh,
Just like a
Wow.
freaking commie, man.
He fled to avoid prosecution for that.
He was like, I just
Is he still
I really
there?
needed eggs, you know. I just really
So
wanted
that
to.
There's no
explains
chance
his
of Pedro
brother.
inseminating anyone.
His brother, yes, it does. So is he still there? Is he still alive?
I think he's still alive. I think he's returned to the U.S. I think they worked out some sort of fucking agreement or something after time, but yeah.
Sometimes these fertility doctors will like use their own sperm and like,
Oh, that
bring
one?
it up.
happens
I would
in the
do
UK.
The one doctor who's the dad of like 1,000 people. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
I'd do that shit.
I mean, look, chicks
Shell.
dig a guy with a degree, you know.
There you go.
That's right.
Snakes
Genghis Khan
and
did it
food.
in
Better whatever
traditional way.
loser you were trying to get knocked up by. He couldn't even get the job done. So,
Dang.
fucking come all over your eggs, put them back in you.
Oh my god.
Ew. Just imagine breakfast.
Snakes and Funerals for $2 says Chrissy, we're great on PCC, Pop Culture Crisis.
Oh, thank you.
Oh wow.
Incredible work.
I'm just experiencing my joy.
You're just doing your RKO pose. That's what you're doing.
Joy to the world.
Maybe that's trans joy. We're looking
And as he
at.
regenerates, he does do the Jesus pose, and there has been a lot of religious talking throughout the series.
Oh,
talking about
Jesus.
The Doctor's original sin, the unholy trinity. They had joy that led the three wise men to baby Jesus. So he goes to the star that led the three wise men to Jesus and then pulled a Jesus pose next to him.
In all fairness, he didn't. He didn't. This is clearly him doing Kate Winslet from Titanic.
Yes.
Because
Which
he's
part?
leaning forward as well.
No.
If you see,
Oh, yeah,
he's
he's
just like,
sticking
wouldn't
his
it be
chest-
great if I like regenerated like fucking Kate Winslet? Ah!
I'm not sure whether he's
all I
sticking
need
his
is a
chest out or his ass out.
window
That's the
with
thing.
my sweaty hand.
Ooh.
That part,
My
right?
heart will go on. My show will not.
Yes.
Hey!
There
It's
we
too
go.
hot.
Wrap that
I
all
think our video comes out. That's why I asked you that question, as we're going to release the my video on the time slot of Doctor Who tomorrow. So, yeah.
Anywhere between that half-hour period.
What was it? 1830? Is that what you told me?
6:30 till 7. Yeah.
6:30 to 7. So British daylight time,
Yeah.
right? Daylight savings time.
Mhm.
Tomorrow. Perry's just finished. It's a half an hour long. So.
It is shit.
That's pretty much it. Stop spoiling my video. I sing for a half hour. No. Last Doctor Who video, man.
Are we done yet?
No.
Okay. I am.
Still shopping.
Go fucking shop.
Is the sun getting low?
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
Bathwater's getting real low. Can barely splash anymore.
Gotta scoop it out. Gotta scoop it out, man.
Bye, Az.
Chat, we've just gone over. We have actually gone over 7,500 books for Saints and Sinners.
Yo.
7,519 books, which is absolutely crazy. 268,500. This coming Wednesday is a special Rip in the Silverback because it's myself, Eric, Soska Sisters, Drunk 3PO, and we got Mauler and Critical Drinker. So everyone who's writing a story for Saints and Sinners is going to be on that, and we're going to go into a bit more detail of that. So if you haven't already, rippaverse.com, in the collections, you'll see Saints and Sinners. We are the writers on that, so please go pick up a copy if you already haven't. But you guys are just like fucking buying it in droves, so thank you so much. And I'll see you fucks next week.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye.
Fuckity bye.
That was actually mine. Fuck, I don't care.
Piss off. Luffy the Sun God for $9.99 British pounds. Hail to the Fellowship. Just curious what would the comic readers in the panel say is their favorite hero and story with that hero. Mine is Green Lantern and Brightest Day, Blackest Night. It's a good run. It's a good run. Sold really well in the comic store too. That's a
very difficult question because that's a lot of characters and a lot of stories.
Batman Year One. I really love that story just because it's so like quintessential Batman and the way he builds up. Yeah, I love that one. Also Returns, which is like the beginning and the end. So
the whole Frank both Frank Miller Daredevil runs. Those are always my go-to. Those are my fave. Those are my fave.
Probably Green Lantern Rebirth with Jessica Cruz and Simon Baz. You know, I just think those are the best Green Lantern stories we've ever had in history. Don't you agree, Gary?
The best ones we've had in history.
You know, with persecuted Muslim Green Lantern,
yeah,
Simon Baz, and agoraphobic female Hispanic Green Lantern Jessica Cruz.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's right.
So
That's
did
right.
they have a song in there? Penis to vagina.
They did not. No.
They did not. They did not. Yeah, like there was. Yeah, with Green Lantern, I mean, there was.
I just say Black Knight is fucking great.
it's a badass.
Yeah,
one.
it stands out head and shoulders above fucking anything they've ever done. But it's had good runs. I like the Kyle Rayner run. I did.
I like Kyle Rayner as a Lantern.
I like it. But if you want to talk about standout runs, it's Blackest Night. Yeah, it's that. But yeah, my favorite DC one, it would probably be just Batman Year One.
It's such a good fucking story, dude. Oh, Nightfall's badass as well.
Nightfall's fucking good. Yeah.
I like Batman Year Two as well. Batman Year Two is really fucking good.
Of the
really good
newer shit, I did think I didn't hate all the New 52 certainly. I really liked the initial Batman New 52 stuff.
Yeah, it was Court of Owls.
Court of Owls was pretty
great.
Initially, I thought it was done really well.
Fucking badass, yeah.
Well, okay. Favorite DC run is Teen Titans with Marv Wolfman and George Perez. That's my favorite run of anything. But New 52. There was a couple like Swamp Thing was really good too.
I didn't read that one,
but most of it sucked. Most of New 52 sucked.
The Flash Rebirth run was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Josh Kelsey for $20. He drops 20 and walks away. That's what he does.
Dang.
Thank you, Josh.
One of those Kelseys.
TJ Jordan for $10. While it is amusing to see the wokies freak out over getting a taste of their own medicine, what I want is not vengeance, but to see things be made right again through these characters and the IPs being treated with respect and love like in the good old days. That would piss them off the most, TJ. Success.
Nothing pisses them off more than being successful.
Yep. Bad News Badger for 20 Danish krona says twat waffles. Twat waffles. We are. And last one for the night. We'll get the rest on the square up. Luffy the Sun God for $9.99 says the news that the FF is an MCU movie is a movie in disguise. The next AC is a woker game about a witch fighting the patriarchy in Prussia.
Yeah, Hex. Yeah.
It seems these companies are doubling down. The mainstream can burn. I don't care. We just watched Doctor Who, which was a quadruple down. No, a lot of them are still going to do it, but a lot of it's held over from the last couple of years. And we said, like, stuff coming out now is going to look like years and years outdated, as it should. We'll get the rest on the square up. Sorry, we couldn't get the rest tonight, but we're going to head over to the Rumble Hour. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on.
Everyone.
We appreciate you.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to all the lurkers. And we'll be back next week with more shenanigans. And if you want to hang on, catch you over on Rumble.
Bye.
Ciao.
No in card.
Yeah, we will see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.